sports leader. Sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod. Chatham A's baseball. Sports radio play-by-play. Let's go A's! Wooden bats through the fog playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight. No one else can beat them. Come on out and see them. Chatham A's baseball, summertime on Cape Cod.
After a league-wide off day, the Anglers are back at Veterans Field. Today, Chatham wraps up a 6-game season series with the Brewster Whitecaps, second place in the East against last placed in the East. First pitch in about 20 minutes. Alongside Joe Puccio, I'm Ian Unsworth. Joe, Chatham is 1-3-1 against Brewster. The two teams have played a bunch of close games.
Yeah, the one that comes to my mind is June 28th, that 2-0 loss that Chatham had. The first of 2 shutout games from Chatham's offense. That's been a different change of pace over the last 2 games. Chatham picking up 2 wins for the first time since June 20th, looking for 3 straight wins for the first time this season today.
Last time Chatham and Brewster played, it was a 4-4 tie at Stony Brook Field. And starter Carson Liggett for the Whitecaps was jumped on. Chatham attacked him early. Noah Ledford and Caden Grice both hit home runs. But Brewster came back in the later innings, and darkness ended the ball game. Today, Chatham and Brewster with an interesting challenge. Chatham changed pitchers late before the ball game.
Wyatt Evans, the starting pitcher today for Chatham. We expected Caden Grice to get the start, but just has a bit of a kink in his neck, so he isn't playing today. But I spoke to Tom Holliday, said he's good to go, ready for tomorrow, so nothing to be overly concerned with.
The Anglers Extra pregame show is going to keep going here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Joe and Tom will chat about all things Major League Draft, what the team looks like going forward, because there are some player movements happening along the way. And also, one Chatham player just signed a free agent contract. Find out who that is, because he'll be on Catch the Day in about 10 minutes. The Anglers Extra pregame show continues on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
We're back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. For the last time this season, Chatham takes on Brewster today at Veterans Field. I'm Joe Puccio with Chatham manager Tom Holliday for the Manager's Show. Tom, a 9-8 win over Harwich in the last game. Now a 2-game win streak.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I mean, even down to the last out, and the big strikeout for Brian, and that was they put it on Nesson, and I mean they got their money's worth. And I saw the replay the next day, so they must have liked it too.
Guy Garibay, who's batting at the top of the lineup today, was a pinch hitter, had a 2 RBI hit, and had a diving catch in the outfield. What's his impact been like?
He, his first 2 weeks were rugged, like a lot of people, and then all of a sudden he kind of got a base hit, made a nice play, and since that day, I mean, he's smiled and he's played good baseball, and he's an igniter, and he's not like a burner to hit in the one hole, but what he is a great at bat every time he goes to the plate, and he kind of makes sure that the 2 and 3 hole have seen this guy's stuff, and that's what a good leadoff guy is. I mean, yeah, he'd like to be a 6'2" runner, but he's not. I'll tell you what he is. He's a good baseball player.
Is he someone that you project will be in the lineup for the remainder of the games this season?
If tomorrow's like today, we may only have 9 players tomorrow, and we may end up with pitchers playing in the outfield every now and then. Yeah, he's going to play a lot. I don't like to have to play anybody every day, and you know that. And you can tell by lineups, and when you got a guy hitting 098, hitting in the 4 hole, somebody would say, this guy's out of his mind. But they're brought in here, and I treat them the way I want them to be, not the way they are. And so, the guys that survive, the ones that are made out of the right stuff that they're here, they're going to play. And, I mean, you look at our schedule now. We got 4, 2 days off. Then we got 3 and a day off. And then we have 6 and it's over. So I think the next 7 games are going to control our summer. And I'm going to play it that way. And hopefully everybody can stay on their feet and we can field 9 guys and feel good about the effort. That's important. Finishing something you started should mean something to these kids. You start to wonder why, but the draft is a different thing. The draft is a dream come true to most of them. And I don't have any ill feelings towards guys getting drafted on your roster and you know it, and they decide to say, I don't have any trouble with that. That's what they want to do in life. Problem is the timing of the draft is totally weird. It doesn't fit. Nobody likes it. If it's just for a TV show that didn't have the greatest viewing in the world, then they need to go back to the June draft like it was, because this is a disruption.
So with the draft over, what's your mindset as a manager? Is it just play the best players and win now?
It is. I mean, it's like up and down. I mean, one phone call, you talk to Cy Nielsen, who's tickled to death that he got drafted, and he's saying that without Cape Cod, he wouldn't have been drafted. And then the next one is a phone call from somebody that wants to be with family for the draft, not even knowing if he's going to be drafted, but he wants to have a draft party, with his family. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know that you're going to get drafted, but I don't need to be the bubble buster. If you're on that bubble and you think that way, good. But the bottom line is the draft is loaded with highs and lows. And to do it right now, like there's some kids in this league that now that the draft is complete, their heart's broken. And they're going to get checked on whether they stick around here and play or do the proverbial go home and get in a weight room and get ready to play next fall. Those people are going to bother me. Because you know what? You just got knocked on your butt if you didn't get drafted. Get up off your butt and get out on the field and play and prove to them next year that you're a draft choice. And this league has kind of got a little magic about it, but I think the draft where it is right now has created a lot of confusion for kids. And instead of just being a manager trying to have fun and teach kids how to play ball, do an awful lot of counseling. And honestly, I'm glad the draft is over.
You also do a lot of signings and roster movements. Are we going to expect any new names with the A's for the rest of the season?
Yes. You're going to have a new name tomorrow, and maybe 2 tomorrow, and then you have another one the next day. So I don't know if you know me that well, but I'm not going to give up. I don't give up, and there's no give up in me. And as long as I got 9 guys, we'll go out there and fight. And come the 3rd of August, if we don't get in the playoffs, when I go home, I'm going to feel good about the summer.
Tom, thanks for the time.
You bet.
That's Tom Holliday on The Manager Show. Anglers and Whitecaps coming up at 7 p.m. here at Veterans Field. Let's send things over to Ian Unsworth as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.
Tom gave Joe a little motivational speech. It sounded like he needs some guys who didn't get drafted to step it up and pick their brains up and keep it moving. All things considered, Chatham has had a very successful 2022 MLB draft. 24 total anglers, former and current, mostly from 2021 and some from 2022 as well, were selected. Kevin Parada the first in the 11th slot to the New York Mets, and the last angler picked was Sebastian Keane, who played for Chatham last season. He was selected in the 18th round by the New York Yankees. But the last angler to sign with a pro team was on Catch the Day today. That's next.
Extra. Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The Inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
The Anglers Extra pregame show continues from Veterans Field. Before Chatham's last matchup of the 2022 season against Brewster, it's time for Catch the Day. Ian Unsworth joined by right-handed pitcher Nick Regalado. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
And Nick, you got some news today. It sounds like you won't be with us much longer.
Yeah, sorry, it sucks to say, but Wish I kept saving more.
But where are you going?
Kansas City Royals.
Kansas City Royals. So how'd you find that news out?
I found out today later around like 3 o'clock from the agent. Felt pretty good.
What's the past 24, 48 hours of the Major League Draft been like for you?
It's been crazy for me. I've been going to phone calls, a lot of calls from scouts. It's been going crazy for me.
What have people been telling you about your positioning or what your strengths are?
Mainly my demeanor on the mound, going after hitters. The sinker's been working out for me too. So mainly those three things.
Tom Holliday told us during the middle of the season that he likes how you attack because it brings momentum to a team. Your pace on the mound is one of your big things. How'd you develop your quick tempo on the bump?
I just try to hurry up, get as quick as you can to the dugout, pretty much.
As quick as you can?
Yep.
So even when you get that baseball, you're thinking about getting back on the rubber and staring at the hitter?
Yep, that's all I try to do.
You make hitters scared?
I try to. Give a little stare to them.
What's the thing that you feel as if you've improved on the most in Chatham?
Definitely my changeup. I've developed my changeup with Cook and Jay here, and it's been working real well for me.
It's your last day, and it's also Jay Powell's last day. Chatham's interim pitching coach is heading back to Texas. What have you and Jay talked about in your times here?
Mainly about the changeup and my demeanor on the mound, attacking hitters and getting strikeouts.
What's changed in the way you attacked hitters at Florida Southwestern compared to the Cape League?
Florida Southwestern try to get mostly people out with fastballs. Here trying to mix it up with changeup, sliders, fastballs, getting as an in and out. Been working out for me good.
And you've worked with multiple catchers, guys that have called games themselves. What do you appreciate most about the catchers here in Chatham?
I appreciate all my catchers. You know, great framing, great blocking. They call it a great game back there.
Not only catchers, but you've gotten to play with some of your great friends as well, in Anthony Nunez and Carlos Ray. What's that been like?
It's been a great experience having those guys back home from Miami, being here with me too. It's been awesome.
A lot of Miami guys, both from the University of Miami, your former teammates, and guys that grew up there, have gotten drafted and signed as well in this 3-day stretch. You're going to see them pretty soon in rookie ball low A. What are you looking forward to most about reuniting with your former Miami guys?
Yeah, talking a little trash with them, getting good competition with them, and hopefully getting good with us.
Carlos Ray told me about a week and a half ago that baseball games in Miami get competitive. Have you been a part of these?
Yeah, I've been in a big couple of fights in Miami, but yeah, baseball in Miami is totally different from here.
Last question. Favorite part about Chatham?
Definitely the fish and chips. Biggest thing here.
The fish and chips?
Calamari fish and chips.
Not the beach, not the weather. It's the fish and chips for Nicholas Regalado that set this place apart.
Yes, sir.
Well, Nick, I hope you appreciated and enjoyed your time with Chatham. I appreciate you coming on Catch the Day.
Thank you guys so much.
Nick Regalado going to Kansas City, the newest member of the Royals. We'll send it back to Joe Puccio for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Still have to try those fish and chips. I know there's a place right by Veterans Field, so maybe I'll hit that up post-game. But Nicholas Regalado, he doesn't have many more trips over to Chatham Fish and Chips. 23 2/3 innings, the second most out of anyone on the Chatham A's this season, and an ERA of 4.18. He is headed to the Kansas City Royals. Pitching today for Chatham is Wyatt Evans. We'll break that down and more coming up on the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing. From the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more. Celebrating 20 seasons on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham A's baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Joe Puccio and Ian Unsworth.
Clouds cover the sky at Veterans Field. What once was a beautiful sunny day with temperatures in the high 80s has cooled down with heavy winds blowing to right. Regardless, a great day for baseball. Joe, I'm actually a little glad that the temperature is below 88 when I got in my car to drive to the field. Well, drive across the street. I was sweating.
Yeah, we've been in the press box for most of the day. It's been steamy, so the fact that the sun is hidden by some clouds, it's lowered temperatures a little bit, just under 80 degrees, but still a gorgeous night for baseball.
Let's get into the starting lineups first with Brewster, presented by the Chatham Squire. Ryan Lasko leads off, the center fielder from Rutgers. Carson DiMartini hits second, the third baseman from Virginia Tech. Cameron Fisher's playing left field and hitting 30s from UNC Charlotte. And Curtis Byrne, the catcher, is in the cleanup spot from TCU. David Mendham, the former Chatham A, the first baseman for Brewster today. He's from Oklahoma State. Kevin Keister makes his first appearance against the Anglers, hitting sixth, playing second base. He's from Maryland. Grayson Tatro hits seventh. He's from Abilene Christian, and he's in right field. Parks Harbor hits eighth, the designated hitter from Georgia. And last but not least, Davis Diaz hits ninth, the shortstop from Vanderbilt.
The starting lineup for the Anglers, leading off in right field, is Guy Garibay Jr. Had an awesome game against Harwich, an RBI, 2 RBI pinch hit, and a diving catch in right field. Batting second is the center fielder from Georgia Tech, Jake DeLeo. Batting third, second baseman Rock Riggio. In the cleanup spot is Marcus Brown, the shortstop, who just caught a ceremonial first pitch from Garrett Whitlock, of all people. Batting fifth in left field is Chuck Ingram from Wichita State. Batting sixth, Clemson DH Cooper Ingle. Batting seventh, catching from LSU, Hayden Travinsky. Batting eighth and playing third base from Tampa is Anthony Nunez. And batting ninth, the North Carolina first baseman, Johnny Castagnazzi.
The Red Nun Bar and Grill pitching matchup features Wyatt Evans and Carson Liggett, two young pitchers, both freshmen. Evans from Tennessee and Liggett from Louisville. Both have somewhat struggled in their short times in the Cape. Evans has a 9.81 ERA in 4 appearances, and Liggett has given up a 4.22 ERA in 10 2/3. His last start, Liggett's, that was against Chatham, he allowed 4 earned runs in 4 innings.
And for Wyatt Evans, he's pitched 4 times. 3 of them he's gotten the loss. Now, the last time he pitched was on the 13th against Hyannis. He only threw an inning, but gave up 2 runs on a hit, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. So both of these pitchers looking for solid outings for pretty much the first time this summer.
Evans will take the hill first, the 6'6", 234-pound lefty. Chatham congregates outside the third base dugout. Brewster in the first base dugout. The Whitecaps, a team with a very short bench today, as multiple field players have left for the draft. Chatham, on the other hand, has lost mostly pitchers over the past couple days. Trevor Martin and Alex McFarland both went yesterday. McFarland to the Phillies and Martin to the Rays.
That's a total of 24 A's from 2021 and 2022 to be selected. Obviously led by Kevin Parada, the 11th overall pick to the New York Mets.
We're a couple minutes away from first pitch between Chatham and Brewster. The umpires congregating next to home plate. We'll run through them, presented by Audio Associates. Mark Delaney is behind the dish. Jim Fonseca at first base, and Pat Burns is at third. Again, those are the umpires. Delaney at home plate, Fonseca at first, Burns at third. Presented by Audio Associates. Now over to Peter Burns, Chatham's PA announcer for the national anthem.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Bonnie Brenner, who moved full-time to Chatham 12 years ago with her husband Peter from the Hartford, Connecticut area. Bonnie taught music in the Simsbury Public Schools for 13 years. Bonnie has sung in several local groups, including Notables, the Chatham Music, and has her own private studio where she teaches voice and piano. It's wonderful to be able to sing again tonight after strict restrictions about singing with the pandemic, says Bonnie. So please, join Bonnie Brenner with tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight streaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it for Bonnie Brenner. Thank you, Bonnie.
Bonnie Brenner with tonight's national anthem. Chatham's players put their caps back on, and the all-white uniforms with anglers in royal blue script across the front, a red number on the left hip, and a royal blue number on the back. White pinstripe pants with royal blue pinstripes and royal blue belts. The camo Cape Cod Baseball League hats today for Chatham. On the Brewster side, the Whitecaps in navy uniforms with teal to navy gradient letters. Brewster across the chest of the Whitecaps uniforms, a white number on the left hip, and the gradient again on the back. It's teal to navy, top to bottom with the white outline. All white pants for the Whitecaps, and finally Brewster's navy hats have arrived. No more supply chain issues for Brewster this time. The navy hats with a teal W smack dab in the center. Running a little behind tonight at Veterans Field. First pitch scheduled for 7. Right now, Wyatt Evans tossing his warm-up pitches at 7:02 on the East Coast. Brewster sits at 13-13-6. Second place in the East Division. Chatham last, 8-17-7. But the Anglers on a 2-game win streak.
It's given this team a vote of confidence. Finally getting 2 back-to-back wins. First time in back-to-back days. The only other time that Chatham's won back-to-back games was on the doubleheader against Wareham on June 20th.
Won 3-1. The season series between Chatham and Brewster. The Anglers' only win against the Whitecaps came here at Veterans Field. It was a 7-2 drubbing in late July.
I'm not sure if we've seen a win differential that big for Chatham this season.
That and the July 4th game against Orleans where it was 7-1. The game last 2 nights ago, I should say, 9-8 over Harwich, where Chatham scored 5 runs in the first 5 innings. Harwich tied it up with a 5-run top of the 6th, and Chatham kept plugging away.
The center fielder from Rutgers, number 26, Ryan
Right-handed
Lasco.
hitting center fielder Ryan Lasco digs himself a foothold, taps his cleats, and settles in. Evans will work from the windup. 6'6", 234-pound left-handed pitcher. He starts his windup and fires. First pitch misses up and outside. It's a slider. At 7:04 p.m., the temperature at first pitch, 79 degrees. 1-0. Ground ball right side. Riggio plays it back, flips it up to himself, throws to first in time.
Now batting for Brewster, the third baseman from Virginia Tech, number 16, Carson DiMartini.
A sizzling 3-hopper to rock Riggio's glove side. He knocked it up, barehanded the baseball, spun and throw to first.
It took a weird hop going into his glove, and it sort of ate him up in the heel and popped up right in the air. He made the throw from shallow right field.
Here's left-handed hitting Carson DiMartini. Pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. First pitch was at 7:04. And the weather 79 degrees and gusty in Chatham. Time and temperature presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. Pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Back-to-back fastballs from Evans. Right side of the Chatham infield back. Carson DiMartini ready. The 0-2, low and away. DiMartini playing in his 25th game. A .242 hitter. 1-2 from Evans. Fouled off. To the backstop.
He has an on-base percentage that's creeping up towards 400. 398 leads the team.
Brewster lost its best hitter for average today. 1-2 pitch. Slightly outside. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Hayden Travinski barely caught it outside the zone. 2-2. Anglers infield back, outfield straight up. Evans deals. High and inside. The slider didn't drop in.
Brewster's best hitter for average this season was Alex Freeland. He just got drafted by the Dodgers in the 3rd round.
3-2 pitch. Tapped foul. DiMartini spun around on a swing. Tapped the ball off Travinski's chest protector. It was a fastball at the top of the zone. Count stays full. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side. 4-hopper to Brown. He fields, throws across, and Castagnazzi reels it in. 2nd out. Joe, the rest of Chatham's defense presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
We'll stick in the infield to start things off. At third base, Anthony Nunez. At short, Marcus Brown with that perfect fielding percentage. Rock Riggio over at second. Johnny Castagnazzi over at first. Left to right in the outfield, Chuck Ingram, Jake DeLeo, and Guy Garibay.
With 2 outs, here's Cameron Fisher. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch. Flared off left side. Brown fields it on 1 hop. Running throw to first in time. Fisher fisted it the opposite way. Marcus Brown got around on the baseball, scooped up the baseball, and threw it sidearm to first. A very easy first inning for Wyatt Evans. Just 10 pitches gets him 1-2-3 to the top of the Brewster order. Chatham has its second chance against Carson Liggett, the righty from Louisville. The Anglers lead it off with Guy Garibay, Jake DeLeo, and Rock Riggio. Tom Holliday's made a few interesting changes to his lineup. We'll go over those after the break. Bottom of the first up next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
After a 1-2-3 top of the first, Chatham looks to get something going against Carson Liggett. It's the second time the Anglers see the righty from Louisville this season. Alongside Joe Puccio, I'm Ian Unsworth. One more time through the Anglers' order. Guy Garibay leads it off, Jake DeLeo hits second, and Rock Riggio third. Marcus Brown in the cleanup spot today, Chuck Ingram fifth, Cooper Ingle sixth. The bottom three of Hayden Travinski, Anthony Nunez, and Johnny Castagnazzi. No Caden Grice today, which is what makes this Anglers lineup very interesting.
Right, having the power bat of Caden Grice in the last couple of games helped out Chatham, but he has a kink in his neck. We thought he was going to pitch today, but talked to Tom Holliday before the game today. He said that just a minor injury. Hopefully Chatham sees him tomorrow, whether he's on the bump or at the plate.
Grice is in uniform today. Left-handed hitting right fielder Garibay taps both sides of the plate, settles in. Liggett from the windup, first base side of the rubber. The righty deals. Outside. Registered at 34 miles an hour on the radar gun. I don't think so. Liggett deals. That's a called strike. That time 91. I think the radar gun's got it synced up.
No, I think he just has a 50-mile-an-hour difference between his off-speed stuff. He's a fastball changeup pitcher, but that changeup's not in the 30s.
1-1 pitch. Line drive, right side, foul. Over Rusty Greer's head behind the first base coach's box and off the right field fence. Garibay out in front. The count's 1-2. First batter for Chatham today. The pitch. Popped up over our heads, foul. We're in the press box behind the third base line on the second story, the upper left corner.
Garibay was in front of that pitch.
Liggett deals. Tapped foul in the right-handed batter's box. Garibay out in front of off speed. Count still 1-2. Joe, you talked about it with Tom Holliday on the manager's show. Guy Garibay on Sunday came in late in the game for Lyle Miller Green, had a pinch hit, 2 RBI double, and a diving catch in right. The 1-2. Line drive softly into center field. It drops in front of Lasko. Leadoff single for Guy Garibay. Throw in all the way to first, but Garibay back safely.
Now batting for Chatham, the center fielder from Georgia Tech, number 2, Jake.
Tom Holliday said he's an igniter.
Great way for Chatham to get the game started. Here's Jake DeLeo. Garibay's outfield buddy, this time in center. DeLeo was 1 for 3 against Harwich with 2 walks, a 9-8 Chatham win. The first pitch. DeLeo bunts it down the third base line. DeMartini can't barehand. Both runners safe. Garibay a couple steps off second as the ball laid between third and home. But he goes back to the second base bag. DeLeo on first, back-to-back singles.
The second baseman from Oklahoma State, number 57.
That's the new style of play, Chatham's offense. Bunt hits, make the defense make mistakes. That time wouldn't say that DeMartini made a mistake. DeLeo placed a perfect bunt down the third base line.
Brewster's third baseman charged, went for the bare hand, but the ball slipped out of his grasp. 2 on, no out. Here's Rock Riggio, left-handed hitting second baseman. Liggett set. Corners in. The pitch. Riggio bunts it down the third base line. DeMartini lets it roll foul. It went through his legs. DeMartini did a 180 spin, watching the ball down the third base line. And about 3 feet from the bag, it trickled to the left of the foul line.
It's a really smart play from DeMartini. Curtis Byrne was running up the line with him.
Riggio got a high outside pitch and laid it down well. Didn't stay fair. The count's 0-1 to the Oklahoma State Cowboy, who's hitting .333 over his last 11 games. Liggett fires. Pop fly left field. It drops for a base knock. Runners go 90 feet. Garibay on third. DeLeo on second. Riggio on first. 3 consecutive hits begin the game for Chatham. Here comes Marcus Brown.
The last time Liggett faced Chatham, he threw 4 innings and gave up 5 hits. Chatham with already 3. There's not an out yet in the bottom of the first.
Liggett's only given up 7 hits through 4 appearances. He's got a .422 ERA. Brown in the left-handed batter's box. Liggett set. The first pitch. Up and outside. Off speed did not fall in the zone. Liggett's only thrown 8 pitches to 3 batters. Brewster outfield playing straight away. DeMartini in on the grass at third. 1-0 pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Diaz to second for one. The throw to first. In time. Double play for Brewster, but Guy Garibay scores. 1-0 Chatham in the bottom of the first. An RBI 6-4-3 double play for Marcus Brown. Whatever works.
Yeah, when you get 3 singles to start off the game, you can sort of afford to ground out in a double play, if that makes any sense.
Right-handed hitting, Chuck Ingram up. Liggett from the stretch with his glove at the belt. The first pitch. A check swing, but Mark Delaney says Ingram went around. Joe, a look at Brewster's defensive alignment presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
From left to right, Cam Fisher, Ryan Lasko, and Grayson Tatro. Left side of the infield, Carson DiMartini and Davis Diaz. Time's called to home plate, so let's get through this whole thing. Second baseman's Kevin Keister, and at first base is David Mendham. Behind the plate, Curtis Byrne, and on the bump, Carson Liggett.
A 1 count to Ingram. The pitch. Outside. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Byrne reached across his body to glove it. Ingram's hitting .111 this season. He's in the 5-hole after a big day on Sunday. 1-1, the pitch. Low and away. Breaking ball in the left-handed batter's box. Ingram was 1 for 4 with 2 walks. Also had an RBI double. A screamer off the left field wall. Ingram awaits the 2-1. Broken bat, foul ball. Ingram swung at a fastball at the knees and shaved the bat off at the handle.
He's got an oar in his hand.
Ingram has his grip and a sliver of the bat handle. Chatham's bat boy has the rest, barrel, and everything halfway down. The foul ball trailed over the first base dugout. The count's 2-2, and Ingram has a new twig of a different shade. First bat was beige with white wrap. This one's gray with black wrap.
Some of the players were talking before one of the games. I forget the exact one, but those bats are $160. It's like an expensive foul ball right there.
Ingram settles back in, waving his new bat behind his head. 2-2, 2 outs to Leo on third. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. A breaking ball that Ingram tapped down the third base line. Matt Hogan picks up the baseball, gives it a nice rub, and tosses it to one of Chatham's bat boys. Ingram's playing in his 21st game. 2-2 count. Liggett fires. Swing and a miss. It gets past Ingram in the dirt. A drop third strike. Byrne picks up the ball, throws to first. Mendham taps the bag and ends the inning. Chatham starts the bottom of the first with 3 singles. Gets a run on a Marcus Brown RBI double play. Through one frame, Chatham with a 1-0 lead. The A's get a run on 3 hits, and Wyatt Evans with the lead back on the bump after the break.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game, or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Well, I came by your house the other day. Your mother said you went away. She said there was nothing that I could have done. There was nothing nobody could say. Now me and you, we've known each other, yeah, ever since we were 16. I wished I would have known. I wished I could have called you just to say goodbye, Bobby G.
Chatham with a 1-0 lead after one frame. The Anglers take an early advantage at Veterans Field after a run on 3 straight singles and an RBI double play from Marcus Brown. Wyatt Evans back on the bump to face Curtis Byrne, David Mendham, and Kevin Keister. Evans, the lefty from the windup. Byrne, a righty hitter, settles in. First pitch, swing and a miss. Foul tip back to the mid of Travinski, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Curtis Byrne, Brewster's catcher from TCU. Pitch, a strike at the knees. Evans attacking the zone, quickly ahead 0-2. He brings the glove to the left side of his face, winds, the pitch, outside.
Not necessarily the same pace as Regalado, but Evans working quickly.
This is his 3rd start in Chatham colors. 1-2 pitch, rolled over, foul. Evans took a bit off, that one at 86. Curtis Byrne is making his 5th straight start as Brewster's catcher. He awaits the 1-2. High and outside. Usually Byrne and Chase Atkinson switch off catching duties day by day. But Atkinson, a righty hitter from Oklahoma State, is in concussion protocol. 2-2, a called strike on the outside corner. Backdoor slider from Evans, sits down Byrne. The lefty's first strikeout of the day.
Let's hope Atkinson isn't out for a long time in this concussion protocol. But for Curtis Byrne, a player who's hitting .210 in 20 games and was 1 for 2 yesterday, getting the nod from Jamie Shivchak.
1 out, nobody on. Here's David Mendham. Lefty on lefty matchup. Evans deals. Popped up, foul. Over home plate next to the press box. Mendham's playing in his 22nd game, hitting .257 this year. Last summer, Mendham was at Chatham A. A 1 pitch. Fastball low and outside. In 2021, Mendham hit .161 in 16 games. He slaps the 1-1 pitch the other way. It's foul. Spinner of a line drive past the Chatham dugout. After Mendham's summer in Chatham, he transferred to Oklahoma State, where he hit .276. Evans deals. It's tapped foul off of Travinski's shin protector. 1-2 count.
It's sort of the same thing as Kevin Parada. Came to Chatham last summer, below expectations. Parada was only a .230 hitter. Then they go back to school and they find their groove.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 in the outside corner. 87 on the gun. Evans located it perfectly. Mendham stared at the outside corner before walking back to the first base dugout. Back-to-back strikeouts in the top of the second. Here's Kevin Keister's first at-bat against Chatham. Right-handed hitting second baseman from Maryland. Evans deals. Swing and a miss. A fastball low and outside. This is Keister's second Cape League game. The pitch. Another wave and miss. 2 fastballs on the outer half. Keister down 0-2.
He's still looking for his first hit of the summer. He played with the Crop Dusters in the Cal Ripken League. 0 for 15.
The 0-2. A called strike 3. 3 fastballs in the exact same spot. Sit down Kevin Keister. Wyatt Evans strikes out the side in the top of the second. Curtis Byrne, David Mendham, and Kevin Keister all go down looking. The lefty from Tennessee gets 12 pitches through the top of the second. Brewster, no runs on no hits because, hey, they all went down looking. Chatham with a 1-0 lead through 1.5. Cooper Engel leads off the bottom of the second.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. The people at T-Mobile are committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me awake at night, when a little piece would make everything right. If I could just turn off my brain. But now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train.
Bottom of the second at Veterans Field. Chatham a 1-0 lead over Brewster. Cooper Engel, Hayden Travinsky, and Anthony Nunez, the first three hitters due up for the Anglers. Chatham's one run in the bottom of the first came on 3 singles and an RBI double play from Marcus Brown. 6-4-3, whatever does the job. The first pitch from righty Carson Liggett. Ground ball right side. 3-hopper to Keister. He fields right in front, throws to first, gets the out.
The catcher from LSU, number 52, Hayden Travinsky.
1 pitch, 1 out. Chatham's been aggressive early on.
Swinging at first pitch strikes, most of the time you're going to get fastballs. Guy Garibay took advantage of one. Jake DeLeo as well.
Garibay, DeLeo, and Riggio all had hits. First pitch to Travinsky. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1. Garibay came in to score on the Brown double play. Righty on righty matchup. Chatham's catcher ready. The 1-0. Fastball high. Travinsky's playing his 14th game for the Anglers. 6 for 35. Pitch. A called strike. Fastball in the outer half. Liggett starts the windup and fires. Curveball up and in. It didn't really break.
We haven't seen Travinsky since the 14th against Bourne.
He's up in the count, 3-1. Here's the pitch. Travinsky walks. An appeal down to first, but Jim Fonseca says no swing. Travinsky knew it right away. He chucked his bat towards the third base dugout and trotted down to greet Rusty Greer, Travinsky's 5th base on balls this year.
First base umpire Jim Fonseca gave the wave as Travinsky was already a quarter of the way down the base path. No way you're going to turn him back.
Here's Anthony Nunez, a switch hitter batting from the left side. The righty Liggett comes set. Short lead off first for Travinsky. Pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Mentioned the 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts before first pitch. Joe almost lost his stat sheet.
It would have been horrible. I don't know anything about these players.
0-1. Inside. 1-1 count. This is game number 33. I'd hope you know something, Joe. Chatham's 3/4 of the way through the Cape League season.
Can't believe it.
Players are still coming and going, though. 1-1 from Liggett. Pop fly left side. It drifts over the fence and foul. Ooh, did that hit a car?
I think it got stopped up in the tree before it did.
Mighty close to Jake Klein's Toyota 4Runner.
Tom Holliday said that we'll get a new name tomorrow. Don't know who that is, don't know what position he plays, but it goes back to Ian's point where this roster continues to move.
1-2 pitch. Pop fly to center field. Last go, a long run in. He stops, makes the catch. Travinski goes back to first.
The first baseman from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
2 outs with a man on for Johnny Castagnazzi. Nunez was one of Chatham's later roster additions. Came right before the 4th of July. He joined his friends Carlos Ray and Nick Regalado, all three from the Miami area. And Regalado's heading out rather soon. Castagnazzi in the right-handed batter's box. Liggett fires. Bounces a breaking ball in the dirt. Travinski just squats off his lead at first. Travinski saw the ball go in the dirt, didn't move a muscle.
As a catcher himself, I wonder if he knows those movements behind the plate.
Castagnazzi might have been blocking his view. Hitter stayed in the box. 1-0 count, 2 down. The pitch. High fly ball, left field. Oh, that's a mile up there, but it's foul. It kept on drifting, almost past the parking lot and towards the red nut.
Get StatCast launch angle on that one. That was a towering fly ball. The thing is, he got in front of that fastball, saw it too early.
Castagnazzi back in the box. Toes on the inside chalk. The pitch. Low. Breaking ball from Liggett.
That slider works so well against righties.
Liggett's got 12 strikeouts on this season to just 3 walks. Castagnazzi up in the count, 2-1. Liggett delivers. Ground ball left side. DeMartini fields it, glove side, flips to first, and ends the inning. A high chopper that Carson DeMartini gloved 2 steps to his left, and he put a laser across the diamond on the chest of David Mendham. Hayden Travinski walks, but he's stranded on first. Chatham still with a 1-0 lead through 2 frames.
Chatham A's on the air.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Chatham with a 1-0 lead through 2 frames. Wyatt Evans on the bump throwing his warm-up pitches before the top of the 3rd. He'll face Grayson Tatro, Parks Harbor, and Davis Diaz. Ian Unsworth, Joe Puccio, and a special guest, Ben Hampton, on the broadcast with us. Ben, one of 5 Chatham A's All-Stars. How's it feel?
It's a blessing. I was looking forward to coming up to the Cape all summer or all spring, and I guess I never really thought about it. But when the season got going, I heard about it. It was a goal for me, so I'm honored.
What do you think of Wyatt Evans' outing so far? He just struck out the side.
He's looking good. I mean, he's throwing strikes with all of his pitches, and he's going right at him.
He's thrown 22 through 2 frames. First pitch to Grayson Tatro. Foul ball right side. Off the Brewster first base dugout.
Ben, when'd you find out you were an All-Star?
Middle of picture day.
Oh, wow.
Caden Grice was standing behind me, and he said, hey, I heard you're an All-Star.
A 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tatro not touching a slider.
It was a bit of a surprise, and then I go and look at my phone, and my mom sent me a screenshot from Twitter. So found out from Caden and my mom before anybody else.
Interesting people to hear it from. You got it from Twitter. Your mom got it from Twitter. 0-2. Sat behind the plate.
I didn't even know my mom could work Twitter.
Well, your nomination shouldn't come as much as a surprise. 30 and a third innings with a 2.08 ERA. I mean, what's this summer been like for you?
It's awesome. I mean, I've kind of just continued to ask for the ball, and they've handed it to me. So huge shout out to Cookie and Coach Holliday for trusting me out there.
0-2 pitch, a called strike 3. Oh, you know that right away. There's a fastball at the knees. Tatro turns around, walks out of the first base, walks towards the first base dugout. I mean, he didn't even have to look at the home plate umpire.
No, he's looking good. He's going at him with all of his pitches, and he looks confident out there.
That's 4 straight strikeouts looking for Wyatt Evans. Parks Harbor, 8-hole hitter in the right-handed batter's box. The lefty Evans deals. Fastball slightly outside.
When a pitcher has over 3 strikeouts looking in a row, what does that tell to the coaching staff and to the crowd?
I mean, it tells them that he's clearly throwing it and they're not seeing it. He's hitting his spots, whether it's away or in, and the hitters aren't seeing it and they're not pulling the trigger right away.
Evans deals a 2-0. A called strike at the knees. I'd say Hayden Travinsky's encouraging this pace as well. He's flipping the ball back and getting right into his crouch.
He is. He's moving quick, and so that's huge from catchers. When they can figure out the pitcher's pace and they can move with it, that's how pitchers have success.
Harbor just fouled off the 2-1. Evans back to the bump. 2-2 count. 1 out. Nobody on base. Chatham with a 1-0 lead. Ian Unsworth, Joe Puccio, and Ben Hampton in the booth. 2-2 pitch. High pop fly right field. Garibay drifts back. He's towards the fence. It's foul. Drifted over the top of the foul pole, landed in foul territory, and actually hit a school bus that's parked next to Depot Road. The wind is blowing to dead right, almost towards the corner. So a high fly ball from a right-handed hitter, plenty of drift.
Another one of those high towering fly balls. We saw one from Johnny Castagnazzi in the last half inning. That one had a little more life on it.
Count remains 2-2. Evans winds, deals. Ground ball left side. Brown fields it deep in the hole. Long throw across. Castagnazzi off the bag. He makes a jumping catch. Harbor's safe. He points up at the sky. He's got a base hit.
It's a tough play for Marcus Brown all the way in the hole between short and third.
He's got some serious range.
No doubt. He is. He's probably the best shortstop that I've ever had behind me.
So, Ben, I want to ask you, 4th round pick number 124, Oakland A's take Jacob Waters from West Virginia. What's it been like not only having him in Morgantown, but to have him here in Chatham for the first few weeks?
Having him here was huge for me. I mean, he showed me around town, and he got me comfortable with the city of Chatham and then the baseball aspect too. But at West Virginia, man, he's a fun guy to watch. You learn a lot just watching him. He's not an overly vocal leader, but he's a guy that you just watch him pitch, and that's how you learn from him. So he's got electric stuff, and I'm super happy for him.
Brewster shortstop, Davis Diaz up. He's already down in the count 0-2. Evans has thrown him a fastball and slider, both at the knees. The righty hitter just watched both. Harbor on first, 0-2 count, 1 out. Evans deals. High and outside. Waters throws 99. Ben, you might be 6 to 10 miles an hour below him, depending on how you're feeling, but you still lead the league in strikeouts.
Yeah, I like to think that command can sometimes be more effective than velocity, especially when you talk about a league like this where, the majority of the kids are throwing 90, 92 plus, So I guess I'm giving the hitters a different look when you look at a little slower velocity. So I might have a little advantage in this league throwing slower.
Evans missed low and in, then up and out. Counts full to Diaz, the 9-hole hitter for Brewster. Harbor on first after his 1-out single. The 4-batter strikeout streak for Evans ended on the ground ball to the left side. Payoff pitch. Foul. Diaz gets an inside fastball off the hands, sends it to the netting.
Could be hard to think about, but there's only a few weeks left in the season here in Chatham. When you get back home, starting up all the way till the spring, what are you doing from then till then, I guess.
Right. As soon as the season's over here, I'll drive back to Wisconsin and be there for about 10 days and then drive out to West Virginia. So the majority of the time I'll be in a car, but I'm excited to go home and see all my family and spend time with them. And as much as I love baseball, that little 10-day break will be great for me. And then just looking forward to a real developmental fall coming up here.
Another 3-2 pitch. High and outside, ball 4. Diaz walks Harbor to second. Top of the order, and Ryan Lasko up with 1 out. Ben, I assume you'll be doing some working out as well when you go back home in the fall. I was down in the bullpen, and I heard that you put yourself through a ridiculous workout regimen on game days. Is this true?
Some may call it ridiculous. I like to think of it just getting the body moving and prepared to have a high-stress day. So, I mean, you never want to just go and start sprinting. You know, you always have a warm-up to go sprint. And so, for me, lifting and getting the body used to a little bit of weight then feels better when you're moving out there with no weight. So that's just how I go about my game day and how I feel like it sets me up for the most success.
Ryan Lasko grounded a first pitch slider foul. Harbor's on second, Diaz on first, the Chatham infield back. 0-1 count, 1 out. The Anglers lead Brewster 1-0. Evans delivers. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Slider stayed outside. Lasko was underneath it. So you say it's a little bit of weight. You get the body going. The rest of the Chatham bullpen said you are doing the heaviest weight possible on a squat and then getting on the Stairmaster.
Normally Stairmaster first, but when you talk about a squat, it's more of a, oh, that was a good pitch.
Yeah, that's a called strike 3 at the knees from Evans. A fastball that Ryan Lasko watched, then turns his head towards Mark Delaney, the home plate umpire, before walking back to the first base dugout.
It's now 5 strikeouts for Evans, all of them looking.
I want to hear more about this workout routine. Why the Stairmaster and then the squats?
Oh, the Stairmaster, you know, you get a good pump in on the quads and get the blood flowing and a little sweat going. And then I go with a belt squat instead of a traditional back squat. I think it feels better for the body, and, you know, you got the weight below you, so you're kind of exploding up through it. So that feels better on the full body to help prime it. And then I like to do heavy rows. I mean, you talk about how much stress you put on your rotator cuff when you pitch a baseball. So, I mean, I like to prime it with some heavy rows, and it's just like 3 sets of 3, nothing crazy. I'm not getting overly exhausted, but I'm just getting the body ready to pitch.
So Ben Hampton's workout word of the day, heavy. Carson DeMartini in the left-handed batter's box. Evans comes set, 0-1 count. The pitch. Fastball up. DeMartini checked his swing. Pat Burns, the third base umpire, says he didn't go around. Harbor's on second after a single. Diaz on first after his walk. Both came with 1 out. Both Brewster outs in the inning have been strikeouts looking. Evans comes set with his hands at the belt. A long look at Harbor. Now the pitch. Inside, it gets past Stravinsky to the backstop. Both runners advance 90 feet. Harbor to third, Diaz to second.
It's the first real mistake Wyatt Evans has made today.
Ben, how do you handle a workload that is 80 innings in a collegiate season, then you come here and you're already close to 40?
I mean, I just love pitching. I always want the ball, but I know I need to take care of my body in between starts, and that starts with sleeping and eating right after you're done pitching. And I mean, some people don't prioritize their sleep or their nutrition, but those are the biggest things for recovery and helping you get back ready to start pitching again.
2-2 count to DeMartini. The last pitch, a slider on the outside corner. Evans deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. DeMartini goes fishing on a slider, low and away. Wyatt Evans strands 2 in scoring position, striking out the side for the second consecutive frame. Ben, one last question. You're from Wisconsin. Does your eating routine after pitching include dairy of some sort?
No, I would normally have some milk, but milk's expensive out here, so I don't do that. Normally just a good steak.
What else is new?
Everything's expensive when you go in a certain place.
Oh,
Regardless, Ben, thanks for coming on the broadcast. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah,
and
thank you both so much.
Keep hucking. Enjoy the All-Star game.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys.
For Ben Hampton, Joe Puccio, and myself, we'll take it to break between the top and bottom of the third. Chatham with a 1-0 lead through 2.5.
Chatham A's on the air. Long as I remember, the rain been coming down. Clouds of mist drift pouring, confusion on the ground. Could be through the ages, trying to find the sun. And I wonder, still I wonder, who'll stop the rain? I went down Virginia.
That's why they go above and beyond for active duty military.
Bottom of the third at Veterans Field. Chatham with a 1-0 lead over Brewster. The A's scored their 1 run in the first on 3 consecutive singles, then a Marcus Brown RBI double play. Brewster had 2 in scoring position in the last half inning, but Wyatt Evans struck out the side.
He's been impressive. 6 strikeouts, 2 consecutive innings by striking out the side. Only 1 strikeout is swinging.
Guy Garibay starts things off for the A's in the bottom of the third against Carson Lickett, the righty. The first pitch popped up, drifts behind home plate, over the netting, and foul. Off the right side of the grandstand behind home plate. Hit the third row of bleachers.
Not sure how many home games we've called, but I don't think I've seen a foul ball land on the bleachers here before. That was a towering pop-up.
Garibay down in the count, 0-1. Liggett from the windup. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Change up outside, and Garibay lunged at it. He's down in the count, 0-2. Hit a soft liner to center field in his first at-bat. It came with 2 strikes. Brewster's infield back. The pitch. In the dirt. Another changeup, this time Curtis Byrne had to sprawl to his right to stop it. Liggett winds. 1-2 pitch. Outside. Went back with the fastball at 90 miles an hour.
Garibay's been a fun player to watch at the dish over the last couple of games.
2-2 count. The pitch popped up. A high fly ball that drifts foul over the first base dugout. Garibay had the 2 RBI double on Sunday. It actually scored Chatham's tying run and the winning run at that point.
And then how about the 3 RBI double on Saturday in YD?
Count stays 2-2. Garibay's back in the box. The pitch. Another pop-up. This one's on the infield. Byrne bumps into Garibay but makes the catch right next to the right-handed box. Garibay stayed in the left-handed batter's box, and Byrne, as he removed his mask, bumped into Chatham's hitter before scrambling around and making the catch.
Byrne gave a tap on the back to Carson DiMartini, the third baseman. Those two were communicating when the ball was in foul ground.
Nobody on, 1 out for Jake DeLeo. Third baseman comes in. First pitch. High fly ball. Behind the third base bag, DiMartini ranges into foul territory at the third base coach's box. Makes the catch.
Now batting for Chatham, the second baseman from Oklahoma State. Number 57.
Seen a lot of those over the past inning or so. A lot of fly balls that drift every which way.
First pitch swinging. We've seen that a lot, too. And those pop-ups could be a result of players getting too aggressive on those first pitches.
Most of them have drifted foul. Parks Harbor hit a tailing one down the right field line and onto the hill past Depot Road. And Johnny Castanazzi hit one almost to the red nut. Here's Rock Riggio. First pitch from Liggett. Low, ball one. Liggett threw the curveball and stumbled after he finished the pitch. Riggio ahead in the count. 1-0, the offering in the dirt. Riggio hit his second triple of the year in Sunday's contest. He leads the team. Liggett deals. A fastball in the dirt. Riggio's taken 3 straight pitches, nowhere close to the zone.
And he had a walk in the last game against Harwich. Shown this discipline more than once.
He walks now. Liggett's fastball next to Burns' left foot.
From Oklahoma State, number 62, Marcus Brown.
2 pop-ups and a walk bring up Marcus Brown. You start to wonder when Carson Liggett gets to the end of his rope. He threw 76 pitches against Chatham in his last appearance. Went 4 innings. First pitch to Brown, a rocket down the right field line, fair. Riggio running hard, racing for third. The ball's into the corner as Brown goes for second. Riggio gets the wave home. Brown's heading to third. Riggio scores. Brown slides in safely. Marcus Brown's first short and sweet triple of the Cape League season brings in his Oklahoma State teammate. 2-0 Chatham in the bottom of the third.
That was smoked down the first base line. Trailed towards Brewster's bullpen that already has some action.
Brown on third, 2 outs. Chuck Ingram in the right-handed batter's box. Liggett from the stretch. He deals, misses up and in. Ingram bent out of the way of a breaking ball that did not break.
Another one of those first pitch swings.
The 1-0. A called strike on the outside corner.
That was on Marcus Brown's triple. Just being so aggressive at the dish. We haven't seen this aggression from Chatham, especially in the early part of the season.
The ball got past Mendham. It was next to his right foot. But the righty fielder, he had no chance to reach across his body and grab the baseball, which rolled quickly down the right field line and to the fence. 1-1 count to Ingram. The pitch. Ground ball left side. DeMartini fields behind the bag, throws to first, and ends the inning. Mendham with a long stretch and grabbing the ball off his shoe top, retires Chuck Ingram. Chatham gets another run. It happens with 2 outs. After Guy Garibay and Jake DeLeo pop out, Rock Riggio walks on 4 pitches, then Marcus Brown drills the first offering he sees past the first baseman Mendham and towards the right field corner. An RBI triple for Brown makes it 2-0 Chatham. After 3 frames, Joe Puccio takes over on play-by-play. After the break, the Anglers lead Brewster 2-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC. What I want, you've got, and it might be hard to handle, but like a flame that burns a candle, but can't
Time for the top of the 4th inning here at Veterans Field. Chatham has a 2-0 lead. Cameron Fisher, the 3-hole hitter to get us started. Lefty on lefty battle. Wyatt Evans beginning his 4th inning of work. He's only given up 1 hit. Evans works from the windup. His first pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner. 0-1. Cameron Fisher, the left fielder from UNC Charlotte, grounded out to short in his first at-bat. He's got a teal bat. Same color as Brewster's accent color. 0-1. Fastball misses inside this time. 1-1. With Ian Unsworth, I'm Joe Puccio. You're not. Who's Joe Puccio? I don't even know.
We switched spots. Maybe that's the confusion.
I'm not Ian. 1-1. Curveball in the dirt. Did he go around? No swing, says Pat Burns at third. Now, it is his call. The third base umpire isn't standing behind second like he was in the last half inning. He says Cameron Fisher didn't go at a curveball low and outside. Evans fights back. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Brings out the heater. 2-2. Infield, outfield straight away. Wind blowing to dead right field, as we saw on the flyout in the last half inning. 2-2 pitch. Curveball. Strike 3 looking. Ooh, that was a borderline call in the outside corner, and it goes Wyatt Evans' way. 7 punch-outs through 3 1/3. 1 gone.
Evans has 8 strikeouts through his first 4 appearances. He's mixed up pitches really well. Credit to Hayden Travinsky behind the plate, who calls the pitches.
First pitch to Curtis Byrne. Skips low in the dirt for ball 1. He's given Brewster some fits. Wyatt Evans' first strikeout was against Curtis Byrne. A strikeout looking in the second. 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken for a strike. 51 pitches, according to the left center field scoreboard, for the left-hander from Tennessee. 1-1. Fastball misses high, goes all the way to the backstop. 2-1. Curtis Byrne with his 5th straight start behind the plate. We mentioned that in the second inning. 2-1. Fastball misses outside, now 3-1. He's 8 for his last 27, almost a 300 hitter. 8 RBIs. That's coming into today's game. 0 for 1 today with a punch out looking. 3-1. Ground ball to the right side, base hit. Garibay fields it in right field. Chatham's infield was shifted towards the left side. Rock Riggio, the second baseman, playing more up the middle than he would be in the hole between first and second. Curtis Byrne gets on with a single. It's the second hit of the game for Brewster.
Byrne has heavy pull power. Last time the Whitecaps played at Veterans Field, Byrne hit 2 doubles into left center. That's what Chatham was protecting against.
First pitch to David Mendham. Lefty takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Runner on first and 1 out. Chatham's infield in double play depth. Not much different than the righty shift that they had on Curtis Byrne. 1-1. High fly ball to center field. DeLeo runs back. He's at the track. He looks up. He makes the catch. Byrne scampers back to first. A high fly ball moved Jake DeLeo straight back. He backpedaled with his right shoulder looking up towards the sky. Makes the catch with the wind blowing out towards dead center field. That's out number 2. Evans quickly set against Kevin Keister. His first pitch popped up in shallow center. DeLeo sprints in. Riggio calls him off. The second baseman makes the catch. Just like that, we're out of the inning. Curtis Byrne gets on with a single, and then 2 pitches later, Chatham's defense comes off the field. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left stranded. Brewster still scoreless, but with 2 hits in the hit column. Chatham leads 2-0. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Like tell you about now, baby. You know, she comes around. Just about 5'4". From her head to the ground. You know, she comes around here. Just about midnight. She make her feel so good, love. She make her feel alright. And her name is G. L. Whoa. R. I. G-L-Y. Gloria. G-L-Y. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it all night. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it every day. Yeah.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Veterans Field. The home Chatham A's with a 2-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps. The half inning starts with Cooper Ingle, the DH for Chatham. But before he steps up to the plate, Chatham's interim pitching coach, Jay Powell, he's left the building. We expected him to leave. He's going to see his family. But now Chatham doesn't have a pitching coach in the bullpen. Dennis Cook is still out on his African safari. My guess is that Tom Holliday would take over for a majority of the pitching duties.
He did it for over 30 years in college. Although it's going to be interesting what happens when Chatham needs to make a pitching change.
They won't need to make one for quite a while because Wyatt Evans, through 4 innings, he's given up 2 hits, struck out 7. Chatham with a 2-0 lead. Ingle stands in. New pitcher in the ball game for Brewster. His first pitch, fastball, dots the outside corner for strike 1. Grant Kipp, right-hander from Southern California, pitching in his second appearance of the summer. Giving up no runs, 2 strikeouts and a walk. His 0-1 pitch misses outside, ball 1.
This is a rather unexpected Chatham bars in call to the bullpen.
Yeah. He made his debut on the 15th against YD. He's working from the full windup, taking his time on the mound. His 1-1 pitch. Popped foul, almost went in the press box. Just went over the protective netting. The count's 1-2 to Ingle. Nobody on, nobody out. Grant Kipp pitched 65 innings with Yale last year. 1-2. Tipped foul to the backstop. A 6.78 ERA. 56 strikeouts and 19 walks. He's transferring it to USC in the fall. Stands 6'6", 220. Dallas native with his hands at his belt. He takes a deep breath, now puts his hands to the face. He kicks, deals. Flared foul down the third base line. It goes out of play. We'll get the line for Carson Liggett in just a moment. 1-2 count to Ingle. Kipp on the left side of the rubber. He stares in. 1-2 pitch. Tipped foul. Kipp lifted his leg, held it for just a brief moment, and then delivered towards the plate. Haven't seen that delivery.
The old pause for emphasis.
We've got a Luis Tiant on the mound today.
Ah, there you go, Joe. That's deep in the archives.
Here's the 1-2. Flare down the left field line. It trails out of play. Two similar swings from Engel, throwing his hands at outside pitches. The count's still 1-2.
And the final line for Carson Liggett reads 3 innings, 2 earned runs on 4 hits and 2 walks, only 1 strikeout. He threw 48 pitches.
Kip lifts his leg, 1-2. Fastball misses outside, 2-2.
It's rather interesting that in Liggett's last start against the A's, he went 4 frames, gave up 2 pretty big home runs, and threw 76 pitches.
Kip gets the sign. Here's his 2-2. Ground ball left side. Diaz, the shortstop, throws from the grass and sets down Engel. Hard hit ground ball to the left side. Davis Diaz charged in, fielded the baseball, and zipped it over to first for out number 1.
Marcus Brown has stressed the importance of getting around the baseball when playing shortstop. Diaz did just that. Tracked to his left so he could field it on his glove side and make a running transfer and throw.
7-hole hitter, Hayden Travinski. First pitch, slider drops in the zone for strike 1. Nobody on and 1 out. Chatham has a 2-0 lead. A righty on righty battle. The pitch. Another slider. That one just misses outside, 1-1.
That's a pretty tight breaking pitch across the zone. Kip's fastball lives in the high 80s to low 90s. He'll throw it 50% of the time, slider and curveball as well.
Kip kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Travinski fans on 91 miles an hour. The heater outside. 1-2. Brewster's defense shifted towards the left. There's still 2 infielders on each side. Second baseman Keister playing offset behind the bag. 1-2. Slider dips low and away. Counts even at 2-2. Orange and blue skies in Chatham tonight. Sunset within the next couple of minutes. 2-2. Slider misses outside. Now 3-2. The sunset in Chatham this evening at 8:10 p.m. 2 minutes away. As the sun sets, Hayden Travinski stands back into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Travinski does a 180 spin out of the box. He misses a 91-mile-an-hour heater. That's out number 2. With 2 gone and nobody out, Anthony Nunez, the 8-hole hitter for Chatham, stands back in. He's a left-handed hitter. Infield, outfield straight away. First inning for Grant Kip, wearing number 42 in Brewster blue. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Fouled over the press box. Lands in the backyard of home plate, the house adjacent to Veterans Field. Head over to ChathamAnglers.com for a piece from one of our writers, Chris Blake, about that house and how it has the best seats at the stadium. 0-1, popped up, foul over the third base dugout. That one also lands in home plate. 2 souvenirs for the neighbors. Counts at 0-2 to Nunez. He flied out to center field in his last at-bat. Nobody on, 2 outs. Kip kicks, goes home. Slider, strike 3 looking. Kip dots it on the inside corner. A beautiful pitch. Slider goes from outside to inside on the lefty Nunez to end the frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left stranding. The first 1-2-3 inning for Brewster. Top of the 5th coming up next. Chatham with a 2-0 lead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they blow in that sound.
Top of the 5th inning at Veterans Field. Chatham has a 2-0 lead. 7, 8, 9 in Brewster's lineup, starting with Grayson Tatro. Whitecaps with no runs on 2 hits. Wyatt Evans with 7 strikeouts. He comes set on the rubber, working from the windup. First pitch, fastball, misses inside. 1-0. Winds blowing to dead right field. 1-0 pitch. Fastball called strike. 1-1. Grayson Tatro, a .250 hitter, playing in his 30th game of the season. 0 for 2 against YD last time out. 1-1. Misses outside. It's 2-1. Lefty on lefty matchup. 2-1. Swing and a miss. It was a fastball that the left center field scoreboard says 68 miles an hour. I beg to differ on that one. 2-2 count to Tatro. He struck out looking in his last at-bat. Evans kicks, deals. Ground ball to first. 3 hops to Castagnazzi. Struts over to the bag and steps on it for out number 1. Rather routine ground out to Castagnazzi over there at first base. Ian, it's time for a check on Major League scores presented by Chatham Bars Inn, but I'm afraid there's only one game today.
Got the All-Star game. Shane McClanahan starting for the American League and Clayton Kershaw for the National League.
Here's the first pitch to Parks Harbor. The righty looks at a fastball right down the plate, 0-1.
McClanahan, a former Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, has a 1.71 ERA, which leads the majors. 10-3.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 straight fastballs. Harbor's down 0-2.
Former Brewster Whitecap Aaron Judge is hitting second for the American League.
That's my guy. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 fastballs. Parks Harbor looks at one of them and swings and misses at the other 2. That's out number 2.
Rafael Devers hits third for the American League. How about this, Joe? We might as well mention some draft stuff in here as well with this check around the majors. The Yankees drafted the most Cape League players this year.
First pitch to Davis Diaz. The righty takes a fastball high and outside, 1-0.
Pinstripers took 11 former or current Cape League players.
1-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. And the Yankees in the first round, they took an outfielder who played in Brewster. 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside, 3-0. Spencer Jones from Vanderbilt, 6'7". Yankees just must love those towering outfielders. Went 25th overall. 3-0. Fastball misses high and away for ball 4. Second walk for Davis Diaz today. He's on first with 2 outs.
I think Brian Cashman has a type.
Or he just sends all of his scouts out here and sees, hey, tall, outfielder, can hit for power, sign me up.
Still haven't had first pitch in the Major League All-Star game. It's 8:15. It was scheduled to start at 8.
Well, we'll update you whenever that happens. First pitch to Ryan Lasko. He pops it up. Right side, foul ground. It trails out of play. 0-1 to Ryan Lasko, the center fielder from Rutgers. He's 0 for 2 today. That's a check of MLB Score presented by Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. 0-1 count to Lasko. Runner on first and 2 gone. Lefty on righty matchup. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Evans brings out the slider. Lasko had his hands back. He waited for it. Just swung and missed. He readjusts his batting gloves and digs back in. 0-2 count. Evans comes set. Doesn't even look at first. The pitch. Bounces in the dirt. Travinski gets out of his crouch to throw it over to his pitcher. Diaz stays at first.
With a 1-2 count, surprised Diaz wasn't a little more aggressive.
He takes 3 strides off of first base, maybe 3.5. Evans takes his time and goes home. Slider bends inside, kisses the dirt. Counts at 2-2. Diaz over at first base takes a few, I guess you could call them crow hops, just little strides after he gets his primary lead. He's set 3 strides off the bag now. Evans fires home. Grounder up the middle, base hit in the center field. Diaz takes a hard round of second, but goes back to second base. Runners move station to station. Ryan Lasko with a single. 3rd hit of the game for Brewster.
The third baseman, number 16, Carson DiMartini.
Maybe Diaz held his water at first so Ryan Lasko could hit.
Two on and 2 gone for Brewster in the top of the 5th inning. Whitecaps trail 2-0. The go-ahead run, Carson DiMartini at the plate. First pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 1. DiMartini is 0 for 2 today. Ground out to Marcus Brown over at short in the 1st. And a strikeout swinging in the 3rd. Evans, deep breath. Looks towards second. He goes home. Fly ball, right field. Garibay paces to his right. Looks up and makes the catch for the final out. A can of corn for Guy Garibay in right field. Gives the baseball to his center fielder, Jake DeLeo, who then gives it to Rock Riggio. The two throw it back and forth, and now the ball's back with Guy Garibay. No runs on just 1 hit. It was a single from Ryan Lasko. No errors and 2 men left on base. We're halfway there on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham leads 2-0.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give it all a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, give it all a prayer. Johnny's got his 6-string high. Now he's holding in what he used to make it talk so tough. It's tough. Gina dreams of running away. She cries in the nighttime and whispers, "Baby, it's okay." Someday we gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we're making or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, live it on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, live it on a prayer.
Bottom of the 5th inning at Veterans Field. Chatham with a 2-0 lead. The bottom of the order, Johnny Castagnazzi sitting in the 9-hole. He leads this off. Order will flip for Guy Garibay and Jake DeLeo. The righty Grant Kipp still on the bump. Starts his 2nd inning of work. He came in for Carson Liggett in the top of the 4th. A righty on righty battle. First pitch. Foul tipped into Burns' mitt for strike 1. With Ian Unsworth, I'm Joe Puccio. Johnny Castagnazzi's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to the third baseman to end the second. Kip from the windup. Ground ball to third. Just goes foul at the last second. It's a hard hit ground ball to the left side that ended up in foul ground on the left field line closer to Chatham's bullpen. The count goes to 0-2 on the North Carolina first baseman.
Tom Holliday was saying something to Randy Whistler, who was shaking his head back at his manager.
Well, Castagnazzi takes one practice swing, puts his toes on the inner chalk of the right-handed batter's box. Kip shakes off the first sign, now puts his hands to his face. He kicks, deals. Slider misses outside. It's 1-2. Pink and blue skies over Veterans Field. Sun sets behind the trees in left field. A gorgeous sight. Kip's a 1-2. High drive into center field, base hit. A 2-strike single to start off the bottom of the 5th inning. Castagnazzi's now 1 for 2 today.
The right fielder from Rice, number 60,
Just his 6th hit of the season. This is game number 18.
He got 87 in on the handle and fought it off to center field. Lasco's got great speed. He's playing rather deep.
Runner on first, nobody out. In stands the leadoff hitter, Guy Garibay. 1 for 2 today with a single in the first. First pitch. Fastball. Called strike. 0-1. Brewster's defense in double play depth with the third baseman Carson DiMartini just a stride away from the infield grass. He now takes a few steps back. 0-1. Skips in the dirt, goes to the backstop. Castagnazzi takes second base. Johnny Nas moves into scoring position. 1-1 count to Garibay with no outs. First time Grant Kipps had to work with runners on base. Diaz, the shortstop, holds Castagnazzi at second. Kip gets the sign. He's in the stretch. He goes home. Fastball misses outside. Now 2-1. Garibay is a hitter you don't want to pick around. 2 for 3 in his last start against YD. Had that 3 RBI double. Game was called before the top of the 8th due to darkness, but Garibay set it open. 2-1 pitch. High drive, left center field. It's down for extra bases. Takes 3 hops to the wall. Castagnazzi rounds third. He scores. An RBI double from Guy Garibay. The 3rd straight game he's done so. Chatham leads 3-0.
He's that spark plug, that igniter that Tom Holliday mentioned. Gets multiple pitches low and away and doesn't miss a fastball on the outside corner. His first base hit was a soft line drive into center. That one had some real carry.
Garibay stands on second with nobody out. Jake DeLeo in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch. Fastball right over the heart for strike 1. Garibay with hits in 5 of his last 6 games. And the only time he didn't have a hit was on the 15th. Here against YD. He was a pinch hitter and he walked in his only at-bat. DeLeo calls time before the 0-1 pitch. Tom Holliday said in the pregame show that Garabay's smiling. That's a positive. 0-1. Foul goes out of play. Behind home plate. It's 0-2.
Just as many of these Anglers players, Guy Garibay started slow. Tom Holliday was using him as a platoon player depending on the handedness of the pitcher. Chatham's faced plenty of righties over the past week, and Garabay's been in the lineup almost every day.
He's making a case to go up against left-handed pitching too. It's almost like you can't have a lineup without Guy Garibay at the top. The way he's swinging the bat. A meeting at the mound with Curtis Byrne and Grant Kipp. Kipp came in to start the top of the 4th inning, had a 1-2-3 inning, something that Carson Liggett couldn't do. But then 2 batters in the bottom of the 5th. A single to Castagnazzi and an RBI double from Garibay. Kipp stands back on the rubber with some work to do. He peers in for the sign. DeLeo digs his feet back in. Right-handed pitcher versus right-handed hitter. Kipp looks towards second. He goes home. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The 0-2 pitch came in for a strike. They froze Jake DeLeo with a mound visit. Kipp brings out the slider. Strikes out DeLeo for out number 1.
Very interesting timing for a mound visit. Many different things catcher and pitcher could discuss with a runner on second.
Runner on second. Garibay goes before the pitch. Throw over to third. Garibay takes the bag. Garibay catches Kipp sleeping before the first pitch. Garabay's a joy to watch. He's now 90 feet away. Brewster's infield has to come in. All the infielders with toes on the grass. David Mendham, the last one to walk up there. Runner on third, 1 out. First pitch to Riggio, taken low and away. Garibay with the perfect jump off of second base. And a lollipop throw from Kipp. Brewster's infield didn't expect him to go.
Kipp was looking at the parking lot. Did not check Garibay on second.
1-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Diaz fields it. He throws home. Skipping the dirt. Garabay's out. Garibay was running on contact. Diaz fielded the ground ball. Shuffled his feet. Threw it home. Curtis Burns slapped on the tag for out number 2. Rock Riggio gets on first with a fielder's choice.
Good call from the Brewster dugout to bring the infield in. If Davis Diaz is playing his normal shortstop spot, that's a much longer throw, much more difficult.
A runner on first with 2 outs. Chatham with only 1 run in this half inning so far. Throw over to first, almost high. Mendham had to take his foot off the bag to catch the ball. Riggio slides back in. Marcus Brown had an RBI double play back in the first inning, and then a triple in the third that brought home Rock Riggio. Time is called for a mound visit. And a lefty comes out from Brewster's bullpen. Grant Kipp won't face Marcus Brown. He faces 7 of the Chatham 9 batters. And Grant Kipp's day is over. We'll have a Chatham Bars In call to the bullpen after this. Chatham has a runner on first and 2 outs, but a 3-0 lead over Brewster.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand
Don't you come back no
Cape Cod
You can't mean
Shakespeare
that.
Festival in Chatham will be performing Midsummer Night's Dream and 12th Night.
3-0 lead for Chatham in the bottom of the 5th inning with a runner on first and 2 gone.
Bring your lawn chair and
Time for a Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen. Brewster takes the ball from right-hander Grant Kipp and gives it to lefty Brennan Oxford, who just threw one all the way to the backstop. Oh, not a good first impression.
He almost got home plate umpire Mark Delaney in the face.
Almost a scary moment behind home plate. But Brennan Oxford seems like a pitcher that doesn't throw it to the backstop often. 11 1/3 innings pitched in 8 appearances this season, a 1-0 record. ERA flat zeros, 14 strikeouts and 6 walks. He's given up 7 hits. Hasn't pitched against Chatham this season. Maybe some Chatham jitters. Veterans Field getting the best of him. First batter he faces, Marcus Brown. Lefty pitcher versus lefty hitter. First pitch. Brown squared around a bunt, pulled his bat back at the last second. Fastball missed outside for ball 1. Brennan Oxford, 6'2", 205 pounds from Temple. Transfer from Wake Forest. New Hampshire native comes set on the bump. He looks towards first. Goes home. Popped foul over the press box. 1-1.
Oxford has 2 pitches, a fastball and slider. A 10-mile-an-hour difference between the two. He's not a great strike thrower. Only 54% of his pitches are in the zone.
He's coming off a collegiate season with Wake Forest where he had an ERA of 6.60. He takes 3 looks towards first, now goes home. Brown takes a pitch outside, ball 2. Brown squared around on the first pitch, swung at the second, squared around on the third. He pulled his bat back on both of the bunt attempts. So the count's now 2-1. But what's Brown's game plan at the plate?
He's got Carson DiMartini in on the grass at third. And the shortstop Diaz up the middle. A lot of space on that left side.
Runner on first, 2 gone. Riggio off the first base. 2-1. Drifts out of play over Chatham's dugout on the third base line. 2-2 count. Chatham scored in every other half inning. Bottom of the first, bottom of the third, and now 1 in the bottom of the 5th. It's not over yet with Rock Riggio standing at first base. And he scored a run in the 3rd inning thanks to a Marcus Brown RBI triple. Riggio 3 strides off the bag. Now 4. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Brown lays a bunt down. Bounce right in front of the pitcher. He throws over to first, and he gets him out. A bang-bang play at first base. Marcus Brown out by a half beat, and that does it for the third. The inning starts off with a Johnny Castagnazzi single. Then Guy Garibay comes to the dish and brings him home with an RBI double. That was all the fun. Rock Riggio had a fielder's choice that got Guy Garibay out at the plate. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and just 1 man left on base. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. Full. Top of the 6th coming up next. Wyatt Evans back on the bump.
Chatham A's on the air. Well, I was born in a small town and lived in a small town.
Top of the 6th here at Veterans Field. Chatham has a 3-0 lead. Brewster with only 3 hits so far. 1 hit in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. Cameron Fisher to start things out. First pitch. Takes a slider inside, 1-0. The lefty Cameron Fisher from UNC Charlotte. He's 0 for 2 today. Wyatt Evans, the Chatham starter, still on the mound. He works from the windup. 1-0 pitch. Fastball skips in the dirt. Now 2-0. Channing Austin is warming up in Chatham's bullpen. Haven't seen him yet this season. 2-0. Fouled off of his foot. Fisher winces out of the left-handed batter's box. He's grabbing his right shin. Count goes to 2-1. Brewster's trainer meets him in the circular patch of dirt where home plate stands.
Fisher doesn't wear any protective shin guards or foot coverings.
He's walking it off, putting pressure on his right foot. Still with hands on his knees. Wyatt Evans looks to Hayden Travinsky. He'll attempt to throw some warm-up pitches. So Channing Austin, he's warming up in Chatham's bullpen. He's a right-handed pitcher, standing 6'3" at 200 pounds. Didn't have the strongest season at USC. He only pitched 2/3 of an inning and had a 27 ERA. He's not in the ball game just yet. Wyatt Evans, the left-handed starter, still going strong for Chatham. He's down 2-1 in the count. Nobody on, nobody out. Fisher stands back in. 2-1 pitch. Fastball, popped foul behind the grandstand. 2-2.
Fisher still pacing around, looking down. Didn't see any limp after his last swing.
Takes a brief pause before setting in for this 2-2 offering. The pitch. Slider, strike 3, looking. That danced right over the heart of the plate. Cameron Fisher strikes out looking for the 2nd time today. That's out number 1. For the first time this season, we see Tom Holliday go out to the mound. No Dennis Cook, no Jay Powell. The manager's got to do it himself. Pitching change coming for the A's. Wyatt Evans goes 5 1/3. He punches out 9 batters ends on a strong note by striking out Cameron Fisher looking. Time for another Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen. This time on the A's side. Chatham leads 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out and nobody on.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
One out and nobody on in the top of the 6th inning. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. It takes out starter Wyatt Evans, the lefty from Tennessee. We'll get to his line in just a second. But in this Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen, we have a Cape League debut. Right-hander Channing Austin from USC. Played this last season with the Trojans. In 2021, played for the Cavaliers of Virginia. He's only pitched 1 full inning of college baseball, given up 5 earned runs in total. First batter he faces, Curtis Byrne. He takes a fastball outside. Called a strike. 0-1.
Austin, a fastball slider guy.
0-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Byrne behind 93 miles an hour. 0-2.
He's only thrown 47 collegiate pitches.
He's up 0-2 in the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike 3, looking. Oh, great first impression for Channing Austin. 3 pitches, strikes out Curtis Byrne for out number 2.
He was at 85 to 88 in his warm-ups. That last heater was at 94.
The biggest sample size from Channing Austin is his last summer with Martha's Vineyard. Had an ERA of 5.84 in 9 appearances. He pitched 12 1/3. 20 strikeouts and 17 walks. 2 gone. He faces David Mendham. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt in front of home plate for ball 1. Ian, let's get a check of Cape League scores presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza.
One final around the Cape at Red Wilson Field. Harwich and YD, a 7-7 tie. They played the full 9.
1-0 pitch. Fastball misses inside. Oh, it hit the home plate umpire. He's grabbing his knee and rolling in pain behind home plate. Both trainers sprint to Mark Delaney. And now both managers will walk out to meet. There's a fastball that missed inside. I don't know if Travinsky gave it a look or just tipped off of his glove, but it hit Mark Delaney's knee. He's sitting upright. He gets back up to his feet. He's given his mask. On initial reaction, it felt like Mark Delaney wasn't going to stay in this game, but he puts his mask back on. Hayden Travinski pats him on the shoulder. What an obscure pitch. Just a fastball that missed inside.
Delaney went down in an instant, too.
He's got dirt on his sky blue polo from rolling around behind home plate. He bends his knees, gets set for the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high. 3-0. Ian, any other scores we should note before an umpire gets hit?
Yeah, let's go back to the Point Streak mobile app, where Orleans trails Falmouth 6-5.
Austin's 3-0. Fastball, called strike.
The Firebirds down 1 in the bottom of the 8th at Eldridge Park. Bourne hosting Wareham at the Sand Pit at Doran Park. Leads 7-2 in the top of the 9th. And Hyannis up 7-3 on Katuitt.
3-1 pitch. Fastball misses low for ball 4.
Joe, if Hyannis pulls out a win against the Kettleers, they take sole possession of first place in the West Division.
Wow.
How about that?
A Harbor Hawk team last year that just won 8 games. Runner on first in 2 gone. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. In stands Kevin Keister. Austin comes set. His first pitch. Fastball skips low. Ball 1. This last season with USC, Channing Austin pitched in 2 games, 2/3 of an inning, no hits, 4 walks, 1-0. Fastball misses low and away, 2-0. Gave up 2 earned runs. Faced just 6 batters. He's faced 10 in all of NCAA play. Austin's 2-0. Fastball, called strike. That's the high outside corner. 2-1.
He looks relaxed on the mound. He got into his stretch and shakes out his shoulders.
2-1 pitch. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. The runner scampers back to first. Looked like Mendham would test Travinski's arm, but he goes a quarter of the way down the base path, then stares back at home plate and scurries back to first. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Runner on first, Mendham. Austin hands at the belt, middle of the rubber. Pauses for a moment, now goes home. Grounded off of Keister's foot. Ball went into fair territory. Chatham turns 2. Nunez at third. Threw it to Riggio at second, who on the transfer threw it over to Castagnazzi. There's only 2 outs, so no need to spin it.
Keister at the top of the baseball. Not solid contact off the bat. Instead of hopping towards the left side, it rolled on the ground after clipping his white cleat.
Count stays at 2-2 to Keister. He's 0 for 2 today. Austin comes set, goes home. Runner goes. Travinski throws from his knees. Oh, Riggio wasn't there. He made a leaping catch behind second base. Mendham takes second base. The middle infield didn't cover the bag. Travinski snapped it down to second. Riggio sprinted over, caught the ball from almost shallow center field. Count goes to 3-2 on Keister. Runner on second base, 2 gone. Austin looks towards second. 3-2 pitch. Popped up, drifting towards the Brewster dugout. It now goes out of play. Count stays at 3-2. Austin peers in for the sign. He comes set, hands at the belt. Payoff pitch. Another foul ball. Lands over by the Little League field. A horde of people just jumped over the center field wall of the Little League field to go get that foul ball. think someone tripped over the fence. That can't feel good. Count still at 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Fastball, strike three looking. No doubt about that one. 3 strikeouts in this half inning. 1 from Wyatt Evans and 2 from Channing Austin. That does it for the top of the 6th. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a David Mendham left stranded at second. 3-0 A's, bottom of the 6th next. Bottom of the 6th inning. Chatham leads 3-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chuck Ingram, Cooper Ingle, and Hayden Travinsky, 5, 6, 7 in the A's order. Chatham scored 1 run in the first, 1 run in the third, and another in the 5th. So if it continues that way, expect no scoring in this half inning. With Ian Unsworth, I'm Joe Puccio. Ian, Chatham's offense, a lot of first pitch swinging, mostly at fastballs. It's resulted in base hits and run scoring.
It's a team-wide theme, and why not? After a game on Sunday with 14 base knocks, a season high.
Chuck Ingram is hitless today, but he starts off the bottom of the 6th inning. The lefty Brennan Oxford still on the mound. He only faced 1 batter. It was Marcus Brown, who had a bunt ground out to him. First pitch. Fastball called a strike. Boy, it was low. Ingram looks back to his teammates in the dugout. Stands back in, down 0-1. Infield, outfield, straight away. Wind blowing to right field. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 81-mile-an-hour slider. Ingram can't touch it. 0-2. Nobody out, nobody on.
Wide gap on the right side. David Mendham is playing far off the first base bag. And Keister towards the middle.
0-2 pitch. Lined back to the screen. Another fastball from Oxford. Oxford wrapped up his redshirt junior season at Wake Forest. His last appearance was against Falmouth on the 13th. Pitched 1 inning. 0-2. Slider misses inside. Now 1-2. He struck out the side in that inning. Hasn't given up a run yet. This is his 9th appearance of the season. He's looking for strikeout number 16. The pitch. High drive. Left center field. Ranging over Lasko. He makes the catch. Hard hit from Chuck Ingram. Ryan Lasko ran to his right. The wind now blowing in on that baseball. The wind has been swirling in center field all day. There's now 1 out.
Great contact. Ingram hit that ball pretty square, but Lasko with great range to both sides in center field tracked it down easily.
Nobody on and 1 out. In stands Cooper Ingle. First pitch to the lefty. Fastball. Called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to the Clemson DH. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Now the center field flag isn't moving. The wind gusts at Veterans Field. Can't describe it. 0-1 pitch. Skips in the dirt. Count goes to 1-1. Now it's howling towards right center field. Blowing out for Cooper Ingle. That's his power alley.
The gusts have gotten up to 20 miles an hour today.
1-1 count to Cooper Ingle. Defense in normal depth. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball on the left field line. Goes towards Chatham's bullpen, lands in foul ground. 1-2. Wind didn't help out Ingle on that one.
Oxford just ripped a squat on the mound. Down and up like it's in Pilates.
He's learning from Ben Hampton. 1-2 count. 3-0 lead for Chatham. The pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Keister throws over to first. A simple 4-3 ground out. Sets down Cooper Ingle for out number 2. That's now the third ground out that Ingle has grounded into in today's game.
He was out in front of a breaking ball. Rolled over to the right side.
2 gone, still nobody on base. Here comes Hayden Travinski. Right-handed hitting catcher. Had to apologize to Mark Delaney. A fastball went by him in the last half inning and it hit the home plate umpire in the right knee. You wonder if the gratitude comes here with the strike zone. Here's the first pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. 0-1. Under an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
They're still chatting. Travinski and the home plate umpire. One thing catchers are taught to do is be friendly. Introduce yourself, shake the ump's hand, and keep that rapport going throughout the ball game.
He's down 0-1 in the count. Needs to be more friendly. Pitch. Cut on and missed. What a golf swing from Travinski. The slider missed inside. Skipped in the dirt. It's 0-2 to the LSU backstop. The wind now blowing out to Travinski's power alley, which is left center field. He's down 0-2 in the count. Doesn't need that A swing that Rusty Greer has told his Chatham hitters. Needs to choke up with a B swing. Here's the pitch. Slider misses inside. Stone cold take from Travinski. 1-2 count.
He moved his hands out of the way. Good read on the strike zone.
Bat above his right shoulder. Oxford comes set. He kicks, deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First punch out for Brennan Oxford. His first relief appearance. Sets Chatham down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Channing Austin's coming up in the next half inning. He's the second pitcher for Chatham today. 3-0 lead for the Anglers. Top of the 7th coming up next.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president.
3 innings of baseball left at Veterans Field. Top of the 7th inning, Chatham has a 3-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps. With Ian Unsworth, I'm Joe Puccio. 7, 8, 9 in the Whitecaps order, starting with Grayson Tatro. The righty Channing Austin came in after the first out was recorded in the top of the 6th. He's got 2 strikeouts and a walk under his belt. First pitch to the lefty Tatro. Fastball, misses high, ball 1. Austin at 94 miles an hour. 11 strikeouts from Whitecap hitters today. Tatro has one of them himself. 1-0. Popped foul directly over the press box, diamond side third base line. 1-1. Tatro with 36 strikeouts on the season comparatively to 10 walks. But he came in today as a .250 hitter. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tatro behind a lively fastball. 1-2. Tatro gets back in the left-handed batter's box. Nobody on, nobody out. Pitch. Slider misses outside. 2-2. Tatro, the team leader in strikeouts with 36. Carson DiMartini notched his 30th, so someone else is in his company. 2-2 pitch. Slider misses away. Count runs full.
Brewster struck out 70 fewer times than Chatham this year coming into this game.
Wow. Here's Austin's full count. Pitch misses inside, ball 4. Oh, well, I think, yeah, now it is ball 4. Tatro thought it was ball 3. He went back in the batter's box, and home plate umpire Mark Delaney said, hey, go to first. So he gets on base. Tatro, the leadoff hitter in this inning. The first time that a Whitecaps led off the inning and gotten on base. Tatro stands at first with nobody gone. Parks Harbor, right-handed hitter. First pitch, fastball, misses high and away. Ball 1. Brewster trails 3-0. The Whitecaps with no runs on 3 hits. Chatham with 3 runs on 6 hits. Double in each category. Austin comes set. He deals 1-0. Ground ball to third. One hop to Nunez. Throws to second. Riggio in the transfer to first. Double play. The gloves behind Channing Austin field a 5-4-3 double play. Just like that, 2 gone in the top of the 7th.
Nunez barely had to move getting the 1-hop ground ball. It bounced at the pitcher's mound and kicked high in the air, so he caught it, shuffled, and threw.
2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Diaz. Fakes a bunt attempt. Fastball taken inside. It's 1-0. Nunez, the third baseman, sprinted in, but now goes back to his spot behind third base. Davis Diaz with 2 walks today. 1-0 pitch. Fastball right over the heart. That's strike 1. Grayson Tatro started this half inning with a walk. Parks Harbor grounded into a double play. Brewster still trails 3-0. Righty on righty battle. 1-1. Fastball. Misses outside. 2-1. Channing Austin with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks in his first Cape League appearance. 2-1 pitch. Fastball. Called strike on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Austin threw 2/3 of an inning with USC this past spring. And last spring with Virginia, he just threw 1/3 of an inning. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Slider misses inside. Good pitch to throw against the righty, but didn't find the zone. Counts full.
Diaz didn't budge.
Channing Austin with a full inning under his belt. Here's the 3-2. Fastball grounded to the right side. Riggio fields it. Throws over to first. Castagnazzi scoops it for the final out. No runs on no hits, no errors, no one left on, thanks to a 5-4-3 double play that Parks Harbor grounded into. We're through 6.5. It's time to stretch at Veterans Field. Let's send things over to public address announcer Peter Burns.
All right. We've got an all-star list. Pearson, JJ, Ben Mills, Jake, who's also in the Hall of Fame, Liam, Charlie, Margaret, Ava, and Olivia. Are you ready? Oh, and Jack, too. Okay, there's no enthusiasm. We're not doing it tonight. But all right. On three. You ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So it's root for the anglers. If they don't win to shame, just 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
All right.
Time to stretch on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham leads 3-0.
Cape Cod Baseball Network and the A's. Sports radio play-by-play. Chatham A's on the air.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. 'Cause it's a root for the home team.
Adequately stretched and ready to go for the bottom of the 7th inning. Chatham gets back up to the dish with a 3-0 lead over Brewster. With Ian Unsworth, I'm Joe Puccio. The 8-hole hitter Anthony Nunez, the first to bat in this frame. The left-handed pitcher Brennan Oxford still in the game. He's faced 4 batters, retired them all. Nunez 0 for 2 today. He's in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, squares around a bunt, pulls the bat back. Fastball misses high, ball 1. Corner infielders charged towards home plate. Third baseman DeMartini goes back to his regular post behind third. Nobody on, nobody out. Oxford comes set, working from the stretch. 1-0. High drive, left field. Fisher to his right. The ball drops in front of him. Nunez with a hard round over first base, but now goes back to the bag. The throw back into second was knocked down. Baseball went into shallow center field, but Nunez stays put at first. A leadoff single for the Tampa third baseman.
Cameron Fisher had trouble fielding the baseball. He rounded it and on 2 hops tried to throw on the run. The ball fell out of his glove.
A leadoff single from Anthony Nunez, now 1 for 3 today. Johnny Castagnazzi had a single in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2, and he stands in. Came around on a Guy Garibay RBI double. Garibay stands on deck. Runner on first, nobody out. 3-0 lead for Chatham. First pitch, fastball, called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Big gap on the right side. Mendham holding on the runner. And Keister almost at second base.
DeMartini just a step away from the infield grass. Third baseman in bunt defense. 0-1 pitch. Slider dips too far inside. 1-1.
Castagnazzi's even farther on the chalk. The balls of his feet are on the inside chalk of the right-handed batter's box. He's crowding the plate.
1-1 count. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. Castagnazzi bat over his right shoulder. Oxford looked towards first, now fires. Fastball, swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Time is called on the mound. Brennan Oxford's picking out some dirt from his cleat. He brushes his right hand on his white pants. Now discolored with a little bit of red from the clay. 1-2 count. Nunez gets 2 strides off of first. Oxford left side of the rubber. He kicks, deals. Fastball misses high and away. It's 2-2. Chatham with this pattern of 1 run in a half inning, then none in the next has continued. A run in the first, third, and fifth. If you look at the left center field scoreboard, it's almost pretty. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Tipped back to the screen. Castagnazzi under a slider.
It was on the inside corner. Castagnazzi got it off the handle. Pros and cons to crowding the plate. You get better coverage of the outer half, but sometimes the inside pitches cause a bit more problems.
Castagnazzi takes 2 pats of home plate. Holds the bat high. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Castagnazzi tilts his head. Fanned on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's out number 1. Boy, a healthy swing from Castagnazzi walking back to Chatham's dugout.
He told me he's been experimenting with some things with his swing. Trying different loads, whether it's the leg lift with his front leg, the toe tap where he comes back, taps the toe, goes forward. That time with 2 strikes, he didn't move his legs at all. A no-stride swing.
Runner on first. First pitch to Guy Garibay. Slider misses outside, 1-0. Nunez is at first with 1 out. Guy Garibay, who's lit up the stat sheet today. 2 for 3. A single in the first and a run scored. And an RBI double in the 5th. Lefty on lefty matchup. Oxford looks towards first. Now goes home. Fastball misses high and inside. Garibay limboed out of the way. It's 2-0. And Garibay's coming off of a game against Harwich on the 17th, where he was a pinch hitter and had a 2 RBI double. That was back in the 7th inning. And then made a diving catch in the 8th that saved 2 Harwich runs from scoring. Chatham won the game 9-8. 2-0 pitch. Fastball lined back to the screen. 2-1. Garibay's uniform is filthy. He's got dirt on the front side, on the back. What's this guy been doing?
Sliding, because he's been on base a lot.
2-1 count to the Rice outfielder. Oxford with a throw over to first. Nunez back in standing. Count still 2-1. Chatham with 3 runs on 7 hits. Brewster with no runs on 3 hits. Here's Oxford's 2-1 pitch. Fastball right over the heart. That's strike 2. Garibay kept the bat on his shoulder. Brewster's defense in double play depth. Diaz and Keister, the shortstop and second baseman. Outfield in normal alignment. Maybe a little bit deeper, closer towards the wall than they are towards the bases. 2-2 count. Chatham with a 3-0 lead. Oxford, the pitch. Skips in the dirt. Byrne blocks it. Nunez scampers back to first. Full count with a runner on first.
The Brewster outfield is in no doubles defense. Playing deep so nothing gets over their heads, trying to limit Garibay to 1 base.
Something teams have struggled with over the last 3 games, including this one. 3 straight games with a double for Guy Garibay. Nunez 3 strides off of first. Payoff pitch. Fouled over the protective netting. Count stays at 3-2. An opportunity for Chatham to break this game open. A huge hole between first and second base. If Garibay can pull a baseball down the foul line, could bring Nunez home. Oxford throws over to first. Nunez is safe. The second baseman, Keister, he's almost behind second base. He's just offset to the right. Oxford's payoff pitch. Runner goes. Fouled back to the screen. Chatham installs the hit and run on a 3-2 pitch, but Nunez goes back to first.
Nunez was leaning forward after he got his lead.
No impact movement-wise for Brewster's defense. Still staying in that double play depth, the outfield in no doubles defense. Wouldn't expect the outfield to change for a hit and run. Nunez, 3 strides off the bag. Oxford stares at him. Now looks home. 3-2. Runner goes. Fastball misses high for ball 4. Nunez lets up on his trot over to second base. Garibay walks. Now runners on first and second with 2 gone.
Good fight from Guy Garibay. 3 foul balls in that at bat.
3-0 is your score at Veterans Field. If you look at the left center field scoreboard, Chatham has 3 runs on 7 hits. One of them coming from Jake DeLeo. 2-hole hitter is 1 for 3 today. Had a single in the first. Lefty on righty battle. First pitch. Lined back to the screen. 0-1. Nunez stands on second. Garibay at first. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. DeLeo came into this game as a .282 hitter. Highest averaged amongst qualified hitters. A starter in the All-Star game. 0-1. Fastball called strike. Pitch was at the knees. DeLeo watched it go into Burns' mitt. That's strike 2. DeLeo takes his time getting back into the right-handed batter's box. Over at Chatham's dugout, Caden Grice puts on batting gloves. .0-2 count. Runners on first and second. The pitch. Ground ball to third. Steps on the bag. Throws over to first. It's wayward. Carson DiMartini tries turning 2. He stepped on the third base bag to set down Anthony Nunez. The throw over to first was to the right and late. Garibay on second, DeLeo on first with a fielder's choice. There's now 2 outs.
DiMartini went for the jumping Manny Machado throw in foul territory.
Two outs in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes Rock Riggio. He swings from the left side. Oxford comes set, hands at his chest, looks towards second. He kicks, deals. Fastball misses outside for ball 1. Carlos Ray, the lefty, warming up for Chatham. Ryan Packard, a right-handed pitcher from Herkimer Community College, warming up for the Whitecaps.
That's your neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah. HCCC. People forget it's Herkimer County Community College. 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Called strike. 1-1. Time is called once again. Oxford has to pick out some dirt under his left cleat once again. That's his plant foot, so quite important. The Herkimer Generals have created quite a baseball powerhouse in upstate New York. D2 championships in the last few seasons. 1-1 pitch. Line foul over the press box. It's 1-2. believe they won the D2 World Series last season. Is that right?
They were JUCO D3 World Series
That's
national champions this year.
Regardless, Packard's warming up in the pen. The pitcher on the mound, Brennan Oxford, up 1-2 in the count. 2 outs, runners on first and second. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Drop third strike. Byrne throws over to first. Riggio is out. Chatham's second baseman fans at a slider low and outside. It's the first time he's struck out today, and that's out number 3. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. An eventful inning that started with Anthony Nunez's single. Guy Garibay got on with a walk. In the middle was a Castagnazzi strikeout swinging. DeLeo grounded out to a fielder's choice, and Riggio struck out swinging. We're through 7 full innings at Veterans Field. Top of the 8th coming up next. Ian Unsworth takes over for play-by-play. Chatham with a 3-0 lead.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC. I spent 20 years trying to get out of this place. I was looking for something I couldn't replace. I was running away from the only thing I've ever known. Like a blind dog without a bone, I was a gypsy lost in the twilight zone. I hijacked the rainbow and crashed into a pot of gold. Been there, done that, I ain't looking back. The seeds I've sown, saving times, spending too much time on the telephone.
Welcome back to Veterans Field for the top of the 8th between Chatham and Brewster. The Anglers with a 3-0 lead. Alongside Joe Puccio, I'm Ian Unsworth. Channing Austin, the righty from USC, back on the bump. First pitch to Ryan Lasko. Inside, ball 1. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Travinsky caught it next to Lasko's belt buckle. Lasko's 1 for 3 today. Pitch. Popped up right side, it spins foul. Off the fence next to the Brewster bullpen. Joe, I appreciate you cleaning up the water I spilled before the last half inning. 1-1 pitch. Line drive center field. DeLeo gets a good jump, ranges to his left, hauls it in. Lasko hit it well, but it hung up just enough.
We saw the no doubles defense from Brewster in the last half inning against Guy Garibay. Chatham's outfield playing straight up there, and DeLeo didn't have to run very far to make that catch.
Here comes Tom Holliday, an immediate point to the left field line from the Chatham manager, and Channing Austin exiting the ball game. Austin with a great Cape League debut. Made it 2 full frames, coming in with 1 out in the top of the 6th. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. In the 7th, he forced a 5-4-3 double play. And he retires Ryan Lasko to start the top of the 8th as Carlos Ray comes in the ball game. A Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen with 1 out in the top of the 8th. The Anglers with a 3-0 lead. The lefty Ray in to face 2 consecutive lefties in the Brewster order.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Looking out at the road, rushing under my wheel. Looking back
A Chatham bars in, call to the bullpen with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Carlos Ray, lefty from Nova Southeastern, into the ball game. His 7th appearance. He's got a 6.94 ERA and an 0-2 record through the first 6. And 11 2/3, he struck out 13 and walked 13. Ray's first pitch to Carson DiMartini. A fastball low and outside. Lefty on lefty matchup. And a lefty Cameron Fisher on deck. Ray starts the windup and deals. A called strike, outer half. Ray's unique windup where he drops his right foot in the air back before kicking up and dealing home. Got him in trouble in his last appearance. He deals the 1-1. Another fastball next to Hayden Travinsky's left foot. Carlos Ray's last appearance was in Chatham's Bourne Meltdown. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball left side. Brown on the run, fields it, charging, throw across. In time. Castagnazzi stretched to his right, kept the foot on the bag to get Carson DiMartini.
That blow-up in Bourne was one of those moments in the season where you felt that this Chatham team couldn't win big-time games. In that half inning, he didn't record an out through 9 pitches, 2 walks.
Ray deals to Cameron Fisher. Misses outside.
And to set up the bases loaded for when LeBaron Johnson came into the game. Gave up that walk-off grand slam.
Bourne won 6-2. Ray starts the windup. The pitch. Check swing, a half swing, a called strike. Fisher brought the bat around to his waist on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, then pulled it back. Mark Delaney still thought he went. 1-1 count. Lefty on lefty matchup. 2 down. The pitch. Low and outside. The base is clear.
Ian, you brought up the line for Channing Austin before we went to break, but it's important to know that Austin's not in line for the win. That's Wyatt Evans, who pitched 5 1/3, gave up 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts and 2 walks.
2-1 pitch. Popped up, deep right side. Oh, that's not just a pop-up, that's a home run. Guy Garibay watched it go. Cameron Fisher got all of that one, his 2nd home run of the season. Brewster's on the board in the top of the 8th, 3-1. A solo shot for Cameron Fisher with 2 outs. Brings up Curtis Byrne.
That landed on Depot Road. Went over that school bus we talked about earlier. It's parked on the side of the road behind the right field foul pole.
First pitch, low and inside. Ball 1. It went straight up off the bat and kept on carrying. It's 3-14 to right field at Veterans Field. 1-0 pitch. Byrne flies it to right. Riggio with a long run towards the foul line makes a basket catch. Rock Riggio hauled in the ball next to his left hip. And that long running play ends the inning. Brewster gets a tally on the board. A Cameron Fisher solo shot makes it 3-1 Chatham through 7.5. Brown, Ingram, Engel up after the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
But I wanted it that way.
A Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen marks the bottom of the 8th. Chatham with a 3-1 lead over Brewster. And after 2 1/3 scoreless from Brennan Oxford, Jamie Shevchik brings in Ryan Packard. The Whitecaps righty, a freshman from Herkimer Community College. He stands 6'3", 230. He's thrown 3 1/3 innings in 3 games in the Cape. He's set to face Marcus Brown, Chuck Ingram, Cooper Ingle. And Caden Grice also has a helmet and batting gloves on, and he's stretching out.
You saw him put the batting gloves on in the last half inning.
Grice was scheduled to start today's game, but had a kink in his neck. He was supposed to be Chatham's starting pitcher. Wyatt Evans did a bang-up job with 5 1/3 scoreless and 9 strikeouts.
Tom Holliday said he should be good to go for tomorrow. So just a kink in his neck, nothing too serious.
Tomorrow Chatham plays Wareham at Spillane Field. 6 p.m. first pitch. Packard from the windup deals to Brown. A called strike. 88 on the outer half. Marcus Brown, Chatham's left-handed hitting shortstop, is 1 for 3 today. 2 RBIs. 0-1 pitch. Popped foul over the netting behind home plate. Packard takes a rather wide step when starting his windup. He faces the plate, working from the first base side of the rubber. Steps left with his foot, brings his right foot parallel, pitches. Misses away. 1-2 to Brown. Who crouches and settles back into the left-handed batter's box. He waits the 1-2. Breaking ball, tapped foul. Off Burns' catcher's gear, and it clipped Mark Delaney as well.
Not the first time the home plate umpire has been nicked today.
Packard 3 Ks and 3 base on balls through his first 3 games. 1-2 count to Brown. The pitch. Up and out. 88-mile-an-hour heater. At Herkimer, Packard was 10-0 in 13 games. The righty deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brown out in front of off speed in the right-handed batter's box. First out of the top of the 8th, a swinging strikeout.
He throws that curveball around 40% of the time. He's a fastball curveball pitcher. Just changing up velocities and motions. That's all he really does.
Here's Chuck Ingram, right-handed hitter. Pitch. There's the curveball. It's in the dirt. Oh, it's 69 miles an hour. That's one of the slowest pitches we've seen all Cape League season. Packard winds, fires. The fastball called a strike. Ingram immediately turns away from the home plate umpire.
That fastball at 87.
It looked pretty low. 1-1 to Ingram. 0 for 3 today. The pitch. That went at the knees as well, but a ball. In Ingram's last at-bat, he had a hard line drive to left center field. Brewster center fielder Ryan Lasko made a running catch in the gap. Packard a deep breath. He deals. A called strike. Outside corner, 2-2 count. Packard had strikeout stuff at Herkimer. 90 strikeouts, just 18 walks. His 2-2. Inside, Ingram turns away from the pitch. That time the curveball at 68.
It almost bent back into the zone.
Packard back ready to begin the windup. Kicks the leg. The pitch. Hard line drive down the third base line. It's foul. At one hop next to the third base bag. Chatham leads Brewster 3-1. A 3-2 count to Chuck Ingram. Packard, the righty, gets the sign from Curtis Byrne. Catcher sets up low and away. Packard, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the curveball.
The designated hitter from Clemson,
68-mile-an-hour bender finished in the dirt.
You said it earlier. He's not a strikeout pitcher. He played with the Oneonta Outlaws of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League in upstate New York. This summer, he pitched in 2 games, had 1 start, 4 2/3 innings with 6 strikeouts. Good numbers, but nothing that really jumps off the page.
First pitch to Cooper Engel.
Hey,
hit
now.
right towards us, off the netting in front.
You make that 2 inches higher, I think we go home with a souvenir.
Someone in the press box would have had to make a play. It seemed like it had a little tail to the right. I don't know if it was coming straight for us. We're high above the third base line at Veterans Field. The 0-1 pitch, up and out. Engel takes a changeup for ball 1. Brewster infield playing back. Shifted slightly to the right. Packard, a deep breath. He deals. Fastball above the letters. Count goes to 2-1 to Engel. 3 ground outs today.
Look how spaced out these defenders are. From third base to Carson DiMartini, there is a huge gap down the third base line.
Here's the 2-1 pitch.
Oh.
High fly ball to right field, but it's way foul. Over the playground. That's next to Veterans Field's right field line.
That's an impressive hit. Engel didn't straighten it out, but that has some serious power.
Was going towards Chatham Fish and Chips in the filling station. And around the corner of Depot and 28. Count stays at 2-2, 2 outs. 2-run lead for Chatham. Packard winds and fires. Curveball low and away. Brewster tried the backdoor breaker, but Engel took it.
The curveball has worked as a strikeout pitch twice in this half inning.
Base is clear in the bottom of the 8th. 3-2, 2 outs. Packard deals. High pop-up. Keister ranges behind second base, makes the catch in shallow right. A lengthy bottom of the 8th, but a 1-2-3 frame for Ryan Packard. 2 strikeouts of Marcus Brown and Chuck Ingram, and a Cooper Engel pop-out. Keep it at 3-1 Chatham.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around.
3-1 Chatham, top of the ninth at Veterans Field. The Anglers 1/2 inning away from advancing their win streak to 3 straight. Alongside Joe Puccio, Unsworth. Harwich and YD tied today, 7-7 at Red Wilson Field. Yeah, they got the full 9 in there. So Harwich is now 11-16-6. The Mariners have 28 points. If Chatham closes out this win, the Anglers would have 25.
Came into today with a 4-point trail, I guess, behind Harwich, and this would be a big game to pick up.
Carlos Ray is back out on the bump. A save situation. He faces David Mendham, Kevin Keister, and Grayson Tatro, 5, 6, 7 in the order. Ray deals. Puts a fastball in the outer half. Strike 1 to Mendham. Left-handed hitter is 0 for 2 today with a walk. Ray, black glove next to the face, starts the windup. The pitch. Called strike on the inner half. Slider. Jamie Shevchik now making changes on the on-deck circle. Logan Bravo has his gear ready to go. Right-handed hitter. The lefty Ray deals the 0-2. It's up and out. Keister's a rather diminutive infielder who's only played in 1 game this year. Logan Bravo, on the other hand, has a lot of Cape League experience. He's a power bat. 1-2 pitch. Mendham swings and misses. Strike 3. Over the top of the slider. Mendham's second strikeout of the day, the first out of the top of the ninth.
So Logan Bravo comes in as the pinch hitter. He's the only hitter on the bench for Brewster today.
Bravo is Brewster's only bench player because Chase Atkinson, the Whitecaps' normal number 2 catcher, is out in concussion protocol. So the Whitecaps might have to do some shuffling if this game makes its way to the bottom of the ninth. Right now, Brewster is 2 runs away with 2 outs remaining. Bravo taps both sides of the plate. Ray deals. Misses in the dirt. Bravo is 6'5", 200 pounds. Stands shoulder width apart. Ray fires. And a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 count. Last pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Not a great swing from Bravo.
He has a record of success against the A's. Here's the 1-1. A check swing. Bravo went around. Home plate umpire Mike Delaney calls it himself. Bravo is 3 for 7 with 3 walks. In the past 3 games he's played against the Anglers. But down on the count, 1-2. The pitch. Popped foul. Over the first base side grandstand.
He has a strikeout in 7 of the last 8 games he's played in.
Carlos Ray's only pitched once against Brewster. Bravo ready. Ray shakes off a sign, nods. Deals the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bravo can't touch the slider. 2 swinging strikeouts for Carlos Ray. A 3-1 Chatham lead with 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Grayson Tatro. Brewster's chance to keep the game moving.
Convincing use of that slider.
Ray's first pitch. The lefty Tatro swings and misses. 93 at the knees. Tatro's 0 for 2 today with a walk. A .250 hitter before today's game. Ray winds. The pitch. Popped foul. Off the netting behind home plate. Chatham is 1 strike away from a 3-game win streak. Will be the first of the season for the Anglers. Ray nods off 2 signs. A third. Now shakes his head at Travinski. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball slightly outside. Tatro stays alive. 1-2 count to Brewster's leader in games played. 3 for his last 12. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. It's called a strike. Gets to the backstop. Tatro runs to first. The throwdown hits him in the back. Tatro checked his swing on a slider. The ball got past Hayden Travinski, went to the backstop, and the Brewster batter sped down to first. Travinski threw over to the bag, and the throw hit Tatro square in the lower back.
Didn't see a signal from home plate umpire Mark Delaney on whether it was a swinging strike or not. Tatro just hustled right out of the box.
Tatro on first after the drop third. Here's Parks Harbor. Ray's first pitch is up and out. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Chatham a 3-1 lead. Carlos Ray looking for his first save of the season. Deals from the stretch. Misses outside. Harbor ahead in the count, 2-0. The right-handed hitter has a single on his line today. 1 for 3. He awaits Ray's 2-0. Swing and a miss. Parks Harbor well underneath a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Finished his swing looking down the left field line. Ray comes set, right foot in front of the left. 2-1 pitch. Another wave and miss. Back-to-back outside fastballs, and Harbor doesn't make contact with either. 2-2, 2 outs. Tatro on first. Ray deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the ball game. In the last matchup of the season between the two teams, Chatham takes down Brewster 3-1. The A's advance to 9-17-7 on the year and stay within 4 points of Harwich. Chatham with a run in the bottom of the first, bottom of the third, and bottom of the fifth. Overall, the Anglers with 3 runs on 7 hits and 6 men stranded. Brewster a run on 4 hits. Overall, a very dull offensive day for the Whitecaps. Chatham pitching coming along while the hitting continues to succeed. After 14 base knocks yesterday, the A's do it with 7 today. A 3-1 win over Brewster, and we'll break it all down on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show. Joe Puccio will have an interview field side. We'll go over the highlights, and we'll talk about the next contest. Chatham going back to Spillane Field. Let's hope the lights work. The Anglers Extra Postgame Show is next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC. When the lights go down in the city,
It's time for the Anglers Extra Postgame Show at Veterans Field. Chatham takes down Brewster 3-1. The A's with 3 runs on 7 hits. Brewster with just 1 on 4. The only Whitecaps run was a solo home run from Cam Fisher in the top of the 8th. Ian Unsworth with you, Joe Puccio, currently on the field waiting for Chatham's team huddle to finish up. Before we get to Joe, let's go over some of the key moments from this ball game. Chatham started out hot in the bottom of the first. 3 straight singles. Guy Garibay, Jake DeLeo, and Rock Riggio starting the Anglers at bats on a good note. Marcus Brown hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the bottom of the first, but Guy Garibay came home to score. The A's finished the bottom of the first with a run on 3 hits, and DeLeo left stranded on third. Wyatt Evans was an emergency starter for Chatham. He came in to start after Caden Grice, the projected starting pitcher earlier in the day, was pulled from the lineup. He was dealing with a kink in his neck. Saw him getting it stretched out before first pitch. So Grice did not play today. Tom Holliday said he'll be good to go tomorrow. But Wyatt Evans, in what is pretty much fill-in duty, was excellent. He struck out 9 Whitecaps in 5 1/3 of scoreless ball, including striking out the side in the 2nd and 3rd. In that 3rd inning, he stranded 2 runners in scoring position. In the bottom of the 3rd, Chatham would pick up another run. Marcus Brown had an RBI triple, which brought in Rock Riggio, who walked with 2 outs. Brewster offense continued to be dormant, only 3 hits through the first 5 innings. And in the bottom of the 5th, Chatham tacked on another run. Guy Garibay with a double, and that brought in Johnny Castanazzi, who singled to lead off the 5th inning. Joe Puccio is down field side for a post-game interview on the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show.
We're back on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show. Chatham with a 3-1 win over Brewster at home for the first three-game winning streak of the season. I'm getting tongue twisted because I'm here with Wyatt Evans, tonight's winning pitcher for the A's, 5 1/3 scoreless. Wyatt, what was working out there?
You know, just really getting ahead in counts, working with all 3 pitches and just filling up the zone and not letting the hitters, dictate the at-bats.
You struck out the side twice today. What pitches were the best in those aspects?
I've really been focused on working on my changeup and just getting more feel for that pitch, and that pitch was a really big help for me today, and it helped me get ahead with these guys and keep working on that pitch.
As I somehow mentioned at the start of this, a 3-game win streak for you guys. What's the feeling like in the dugout?
It feels good. The vibes are good. Everyone's having a good time, and it just feels good to keep winning, and we're just keep winning.
What did Tom Holliday say postgame?
He told me good job, way to pitch, and told every pitcher way to do a job, and let's just keep winning. And after that, next 3 games, let's get a good 2 days off.
He handed the ball to Channing Austin, who made his Chatham debut today. How do you think he did?
He did really well. I didn't get to watch too much of him because I went back down to the pen, but he worked ahead well and threw the ball well, very hard.
Longest road trip of the season tomorrow in Wareham. How do you prepare the night before a game like that?
It's all about getting your rest as a baseball player, especially when we're playing 6 games a week, and getting your rest and getting sleep and eating well too.
Well, get that sleep. You deserve it. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's Wyatt Evans, today's winning pitcher in Chatham's 3-1 victory over Brewster. Let's send things up to Ian Unsworth for the highlights on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show.
We talked to Ben Hampton midway through the game today, and Ben mentioned the key after a start is eating and sleeping. Sounds like Wyatt Evans is on the line with Ben Hampton's playbook. He went 5 1/3 today, struck out 9, only gave up 3 hits and 2 walks, 5 1/3 scoreless. Evans gets his first win in an Anglers uniform. Joe Puccio coming up to the press box now. We'll go through the highlights presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. It started early. Chatham with 3 singles in the bottom of the first after a 1-2-3 top. And it was Marcus Brown who brought the first run of the game in. 1-0 pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Diaz to second for 1. The throw to first. In time. Double play for Brewster, but Guy Garibay scores. 1-0 Chatham in the bottom of the first. An RBI 6-4-3 double play for Marcus Brown. Get him in any way you can. And Marcus Brown, putting the ball in play, did just that. Jake DeLeo would be stranded on third after Chuck Ingram struck out, but Chatham took an early 1-0 lead, and that's all the A's would need to at least tie the game. In the top of the second, Wyatt Evans got his stuff working. He was facing 4, 5, 6 in the order. He got Curtis Byrne looking, David Mendham looking, and Kevin Keister was at the plate to face the same fate. The 0-2. A called strike 3. 3 fastballs in the exact same spot. Sit down, Kevin Keister. Evans striking out the side for the first of 2 times today. He also struck out the side in the top of the third, and he stranded 2 runners in scoring position. The Chatham offense kept on rolling to provide some run support for its pitcher. In the bottom of the third, Guy Garibay and Jake DeLeo both popped out in rather dull at-bats, but Rock Riggio worked a 2-out walk, and Marcus Brown came to the plate with his Oklahoma State teammate looking to score. First pitch to Brown, a rocket down the right field line, fair. Riggio running hard, racing for third. The ball's into the corner as Brown goes for second. Riggio gets the wave home, Brown's heading to third. Riggio scores, Brown slides in safely. Marcus Brown's first short and sweet triple of the Cape League season brings in his Oklahoma State teammate. 2-0 Chatham in the bottom of the third. That's all the A's would need, but the Chatham offense still wasn't done. You go to the 5th, Johnny Castagnazzi leads off with a single, and Guy Garibay, continuing his hot hitting streak, comes up with intent.
2-1 pitch. High drive, left center field. It's down for extra bases. Takes 3 hops to the wall. Castagnazzi rounds third. He scores. An RBI double from Guy Garibay. The 3rd straight game he's done so. Chatham leads 3-0.
Garibay had a 3 RBI double at Red Wilson Field against YD on Saturday, and a 2 RBI double against Harwich on Sunday. He's keeping that hot bat going at the top of the order. He was on third after stealing third. The pitcher was looking towards the parking lot, maybe? I don't know what the pitcher was thinking, but Guy Garibay took off for third before the pitcher had even lifted his leg, took the base, and he was on with just 1 out in the top of the 5th. But Rock Riggio hit a hard ground ball. There was a play at the plate.
1-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Diaz fields it. He throws home. Skipping the dirt. Garibay's out. Garibay was running on contact. Diaz fielded the ground ball. Shuffled his feet. Threw it home. Curtis Burns slapped on the tag for out number 2. Rock Riggio gets on first with a fielder's choice.
The Brewster defense stepping up to prevent any further runs scored. So Chatham ended the bottom of the 5th with a 3-run lead. Rock Riggio was stranded on first. The Whitecaps wouldn't get any offensive action going until the top of the 8th. Wyatt Evans and Channing Austin both pitched 7 and combined pitched 7 1/3 scoreless. Austin going 2 innings in his Cape League debut, striking out 2, walking 2. The only run action for Brewster was Cameron Fisher, who was at the dish with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. 2-1 pitch. Popped up, deep right side. Oh, that's not just a pop-up, that's a home run. Guy Garibay watched it go. Cameron Fisher got all of that one, his 2nd home run of the season. Brewster's on the board in the top of the 8th, 3-1. From our vantage point up in the press box, it looked like a fly ball, but it kept on carrying towards Depot Road. That made it 3-1, Chatham still with the advantage. No scoring for the Anglers in the bottom of the 8th, going down 1-2-3, and it was up to Carlos Ray to close out the top of the 9th. He struck out the first 2 batters he faced. Grayson Tatro struck out as well, but reached on a drop 3rd strike. So Parks Harbor came to the dish with a man on and 2 down. He was the tying run. 2-2, 2 outs. Tatro on first. Ray deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the ball game. And the last matchup of the season between the two teams, Chatham takes down Brewster 3-1. The A's advance to 9, 17, and 7 on the year and stay within 4 points of Harwich. The post-game highlights presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. Ian Unsworth with you on the Anglers Extra post-game show, rejoined by Joe Puccio. What a win for the playoff push. Late in the season with now 11 games left, Chatham's starting to find its mojo.
A 3-game win streak for the first time this season. Who would have thought that about a month ago? I mean, Chatham had 2 wins in the month of July before this 3-game win streak. They're turning it on, and I talked to Wyatt Evans in the postgame. Tom Holliday's message, keep winning. Just keep putting your foot on the gas pedal. Good things will happen.
A simple one at that. Chatham takes it over Brewster 3-1. Let's quickly run through the totals. The Anglers with 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 6 men left on base. Brewster also left 6 on base, but only managed 1 run through 4 hits. The winning pitcher, Wyatt Evans, with 5 1/3. Scoreless, 9 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 2 walks. Carson Liggett got the loss. He went only 3 innings, but allowed 2 runs, both of them earned, on 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. A good win, all things considered, for the A's. The last matchup against the second-place team in the East.
Yeah, a big-time win. And now Chatham is 3 points behind Harwich. You never know what can happen in the late stages of this season. But tomorrow, an opponent in Wareham who, yes, last place in the West Division, but coming into today was 5 points ahead of Chatham.
The A's head to Spillane Field tomorrow, 6 p.m. first pitch. For Joe Puccio, I'm Ian Unsworth. Have a great night.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2022 has been brought to you by the Chatham Squire, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, Audio Associates, the Chatham Bars Inn, and by the Chatham Athletic Association.
Chatham-based baseball, sports radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.